We're live.
The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. The topics discussed may include drugs, alcohol, or be sexual in nature. This show is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. I'm serious. It's dirty. Really, really dirty. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage, sit back, and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble. You're listening to Fantastic Forum, your premier comic book show, and your live weekly conversation about geek culture and entertainment industry. Welcome. You have the usual suspects in the building. I guess I technically should say that I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, because I do, and I want you to know that. But I also want you to know that you have the usual suspects in the building. On Skype, he is our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the Cal. He's our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
We'll figure out the intros one day.
One day. I agree. Next, he's our riddle inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Next, we have the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
What's up?
As for myself, I'm Lawrence Young. Hello. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today. We are going to be talking to you all about DC's fandom, or I guess it's just DC fandom, but that happened this past weekend. That was this past weekend, right? Time's all weird now.
Yeah, it's all just one big day.
Exactly. So we'll be talking to you about DC fandom. We'll be bringing you a heavy metal minute. We'll also be talking to you all about Infinity Train, Hotel, the comic series 1 through 4, and talking to you all about Star Trek Lower Decks, and of course, whatever else it is you all want to talk about. So please feel free to jump in to participate and whatnot. Before we do all that, though, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, who, without him, this show would not exist. So thank you, Scott Rubin. We appreciate you, good sir. If you want to get down with Fantastic Forum, we do.
The lady will tell you how.
Oh, there we go. So, listen, here's how you do it. Bam.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
FantasticForum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
She got like a little frog in her voice at the end. It happens.
She had to do a second take because she messed it up the first time.
Got it. She's like fantasticforum.live. So makes sense. So yeah, go to fantasticforum.live. That's how you can go ahead and jump into chat. Or you can click the link, jump into the studio. We'll take you that way as well. Whatever works. We want you to participate in whatever way you feel happy, safe, fit. So let's do it.
Hecht in chat says, I don't think you hope I had a good day.
No, I definitely hope that everyone that's listening had a good day, but Hecht specifically, like when I say I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and no matter where you are in the world, in my mind, who I'm thinking about is Hecht, because Hecht has some weird days. Hecht's all we think about all day. All day I think about Hecht. That's an old school reference. People like most of the people that listen to the show are going to be like, I don't understand why he would say that. It's like,
I didn't know Larry was a corn.
Okay.
Wait, you didn't know I was a what, Mo?
Corn fan.
A corn fang?
Fan.
Oh, a corn fan. Really? Corn? Did Corn make a version of that song?
Yeah.
Oh, freaking! And then yes,
They're doing
that's
this
why
really good.
their version's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's
Well,
not a cover or anything, is it? The corn one?
All day I think about sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. It's a rap song first, but I'm just saying,
I was asking because I didn't know. So
listen, that's okay. I just like, I know you and your family don't really think of rap as good music, so, or as music at all.
I really think because maybe it's a original song with the same chorus.
It could be. I don't know. I haven't heard the Korn version. Have you heard it, Jay?
Yeah.
Is it a cover?
I believe it did come out after. Yeah.
No, it definitely came out after, but is it a cover or is it like an original song? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. I can't think of the last time I heard I can't think of the last time I heard the original version. I've never heard the Korn version, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like I'm having trouble recalling the original version.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense.
But hell,
So listen,
one version was like fucking 20 some odd years ago.
right?
Like over 20 years ago.
Yeah. Listen, so let's not even talk about how old the original is. Yeah. Okay. We got a lot. Listen, it is definitely a song that's before my time, but I'm a bit of a hip hop historian, so yes. Anyway, we got a lot to cover, so let's get into it. Let's talk about DC fandom. Like I mentioned before, if you're listening, you're watching, you have something to add, because a lot of us have heard news out of DC fandom, and I'm sure a lot of you have opinions on some of the things you saw or what you thought was cool. If you want to chime in, jump into the chat room, let us know there, or jump into the studio and I will let you in and we can all talk about it. So, gents,
the first thing we should mention about DC fandom is that there was no console support, and even my Xbox One browser could not pick it up. And it's just so goddamn petty of them. Like, I swear to God, it's like, what the fuck is DC doing? Like, they're laying off all their people, they're pissing off their fans, they're canceling their books. Like, I don't know, it might be time to write DC off.
Write DC off. Wow. That would be interesting. That would be interesting indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Hecht is in the building. What up, Hecht?
Man, I'm on camera and everything.
Yeah, Hecht, listen. You
shut down real quick.
Dude, you are the fifth member of Fantastic Forum in a real way. Look, you might be the fourth member because Oz decided to be on Skype.
Look, I'm surprised Lawrence is different.
You're surprised that I knew the difference between you and Hecht?
Oh, yeah. On your screen, you just see a Mexican on that fourth panel. I figure, okay. Well,
How dare you? That would be hilarious. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, Oz is in the building, and it's heck. Oh my god, how wrong would that be? But that stuff happens all the time, right? Didn't that just happen? Like some major news outlet was talking about Usain Bolt getting COVID, and it was Kevin Hart,
NBC.
Yeah, it was CNN.
Listen, I'm just saying, it's like
Something
caps are
happened
wild.
recently on Twitter like that. where
What
they
happened?
put a picture, and there's like one random black dude in the picture, and this one person responds like, "Is that one of Doug's minions?" And it's like the two look nothing alike. Like it's so funny.
Who's Doug?
A nostalgia critic. He has one of his peoples named Malcolm,
Uh-huh.
and the guy looks nothing like Malcolm.
Just a black guy, and they're like, well, that's obviously the black guy.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, DC fandom. Let's talk about that. Jay was mad salty that there was no console support because that's how Jay wanted to watch the joint.
Me too.
Okay, there you go. Did anybody else? Was there anyone else that was unhappy that there was no console support? That's fair.
It didn't matter to me, but I found like a bootleg stream on YouTube. So
Why a bootleg stream? Like, why didn't you just watch? Like, if you were on YouTube, because you were trying to watch on your phone specifically or a tablet or something?
I was on the computer, but I thought they had a thing on YouTube. And
got you.
like I thought it was through the DC channel on YouTube.
Got it.
Ended up
And you know what?
Like a bootleg stream.
That's fair. That's fair. And that's the same thing that Jay said. Like, Jay was like, oh, it's through the DC YouTube channel, right? And I'm like, no. They have like their own site they set up just for this. Which
Specifically so people can't get console support.
that's why they're like, so you don't get console support. But if you can get YouTube, you can get YouTube on your console, and I'm sure that you could probably watch it that way, which none of us knew. But
if these motherfuckers would just use StreamYard, Twitch, Periscope, Facebook Live, YouTube, all at once, you can't. Like, you actively have to try to not watch it.
There it
The
is.
YouTube
Twitter stream, like the damn Twitter stream worked on my console, so they did that. So
Right.
they actually went out of their way to disable
The video.
for
I think you're right.
conference.
I think you're right.
Like,
And they
for
didn't
example,
show any of my tweets. I was live tweeting like the first two panels, like 2 or 3 panels. I was live tweeting. They didn't get to any of my tweets. It's like, I don't know, man. I think DC's got it in for me.
Look, Jim Lee's had it in for you for a long time, Jay.
he's like, that's that guy.
Right. He always is talking about, I hold my hand like this because I want to draw.
I literally, like, when I walk up to him and say hi, he just looks at me like,
There it is. So, Oz, obviously, you're well, I was going to say you're the biggest DC fan here, but Heck's here now, so I don't know. No, but what were your thoughts?
Fat joke too.
Dang. See, I wasn't calling y'all fat. I was saying y'all are enthusiastic about DC. If you want to take it like that, that's all you. Hey, look, Heck took off his camera. He's like, I won't stand here for these fat jokes. No.
How dare you?
How
I'm
dare
here
you?
as a guest. You disrespect me.
That's Oz, man. That's Oz. Oz, what were your thoughts on DC fandom? First of all, did you watch any of it?
No.
I love it. I love it. It's so perfect.
I was standing in solidarity with my comrades over there that with no console support.
Got it. He was like, we're making a political statement.
yeah, not how you said comrades.
What'd you say, Hecht?
I guess we know who the bigger DC guy is now.
Oh, well, there it is. Yeah, I think you're right. I did note he did say comrades. No, you're right.
Pounds. Thank you, Heck.
What?
He's still making fat jokes. So Hecht, as our new biggest Fantastic Forum DC fan, what did you think of DC Fandom?
What I saw, I liked. It felt like a Comic-Con kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it felt like a E3 too, where they just had pre-made videos,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was a lot of stuff. I didn't know the schedule, so
Yeah.
one of the parts I stepped away. I came back, and then they had like a milestone panel.
Yeah, that was like the secret panel that they kept. They didn't put that on the schedule, and it's so funny because everybody, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were disappointed because people were anticipating all types of things for that panel, whether everything from a new Superman movie getting revealed to like just all basically anything but Milestone Comics. Anything but. And I'm just like, oh man, I felt bad because I was sitting here like, oh dang, like these guys are gonna get.
They actively wanted it to be a secret.
I mean, it was literally the only thing. Like, let's touch on a couple things real quick. First, Heck saying, okay, I didn't know the schedule. It turned out that the only place that you could see the schedule was through that website. They didn't have it really posted anywhere else, I don't believe. And I think there were some news outlets that maybe, reported on it, but I don't think that you could actually see it until like either the day before or maybe like 2 days before. And like literally it was like so it was a thing where there were some things that people knew were going to happen, but no one knew exactly the full schedule, I don't think, until like a few days out. And then, like I said, you couldn't really see it anywhere unless you were actually like on that site. And that was so you have the full schedule of events, but there was one panel that was a secret panel. And I'm going to go out here and go out on a limb. I believe that panel was secret because I think they only wanted some people from Milestone on that panel. And I think that they knew that if they couldn't get like if the people that they didn't ask to be on the Milestone panel knew there was going to be a Milestone panel and they weren't going to be a part of it, they would have talked mess about it before it even happened. I feel like that's why that panel was secret, like to avoid controversy. Now, don't get me wrong. That's me definitely being a little bit of a stuff starter. But you all, look, y'all been to the Black panel. You know how that joint can go down.
Yep. It's like, dudes always are Milestone dudes.
Huh?
Half of the people there are Milestone dudes every year.
Absolutely. And you know that those cats go for the jugular. So it was like, so I was like, oh man, I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, yeah, we're just going to be secret panel until it pops up. But that was actually a good panel. Like I personally really enjoyed it. I wish that they would have released a little bit more information, but the idea that, it literally was like, a few of the founders there talking about the history of it and what they're hoping to have happen in the future. And so, a lot of those characters apparently are going to be coming back and will in comic form in the near future, but we'll see. So Heck, you didn't know what the schedule was. So so the first thing you saw was the Milestone panel?
No.
Heck?
So the way I remembered Fandom was happening, I was watching Cartoon Network.
Got it.
And they were doing commercials for, we're going to be showing like Batman movies tonight on Toonami for Fandom.
Right.
And I was like, I need to see if something's on YouTube. That's how I found the bootleg link. Because I thought it was going to be through the DC app or the DC
right.
app. Like I don't remember. Did they even do it through the DC universe?
No. Strictly through.
So
why
DC
would
fan?
why would you support the whole thing that you made?
Well, why draw people to something? Like if you're gonna make it locked in a way that's hard to get to, why not do it for the people that have given you money with good faith that you're going to give them something exclusive? You know, all of DC content, like Panelly and stuff like that, these social things they do on DC Universe, they do on YouTube as well. So everybody that gives them money gets to watch it for free. But then this thing that should be free, because you know what? Nobody's going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They do in a site where you can't get to it.
I mean, you can get to the site.
Yeah, you can't get to it. Like, if I'm on my phone, can I get to the site?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can get to it through mobile and computer. You know, I think mobile, computer, like, and your laptop and your desktop is fine. It may not have had tablet support, maybe, and it didn't have console support.
I don't think it had mobile support, did it? Because I went to the site on my cell phone and I couldn't get any.
What's
like,
the
I got trailers.
What's the
any,
website
like,
actually? What is the actual website?
I think it was DCFandom.com. I think.
Fandom.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's alive now. It might be though, because they do have another thing, which is this was another weird part of it. They originally was supposed to be all in one thing. What's that say?
It's a countdown to
the second part, which is in September.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a weird thing. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's like, and I think in September they're gonna have like, they're gonna show, I guess, animated things and clips and like shows, I think, but I don't know if it's new stuff. It might be like, you know, how and I apologize because I guess this is me technically not having done as much of my homework as I should have, but I felt as if
you watched all of it.
All of DC Fandom?
Yeah, like you watched a lot of it. Because
I did watch a lot of it.
You were treating our production text thread like it was Twitter. Like you were live tweeting to me.
Yeah, so that you all could stay informed. Well, that was more for Oz than anything, because I knew he wasn't gonna watch it. But some of the stuff I was genuinely excited about. I was just like, oh wow, like, you know, but that stuff was kind of few and far between. Like other stuff I was just like, this is a weird thing, and this, I don't know why this is happening. I would say that the biggest thing that DC did right with Fandom, or maybe I shouldn't say right, what I should say is one of the saving graces of DC Fandom was that all the panels were super quick. Some of them I wish were longer.
20-25 minutes?
I mean, yeah, pretty much like between 20 and 30 minutes every panel, I think.
That's good.
Yeah, and so that was the thing, because when I looked at the schedule initially, I was like, how is this going to work? And there were some things that were actually just 10 minutes long. And I was like, wow, that's interesting or whatever. And, you know, they had like little buffers in between some things, like playing those, what were those DC animated shorts called? The English ones? You remember that? Where it's like the Wallace and Gromit, like DC shorts?
I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah, they played some of those in between panels.
They were DC Nation, no?
Yeah, I think it was DC Nation. Yeah.
But that's not the name of the specific short.
Right. But
Tiger Claw in chat says, what did you guys think of the Suicide Squad panel and those character reveals? Were there any that stand out to you?
Yeah. So the Suicide Squad panel had the full cast. And yeah, I didn't realize there were that many people in this movie. I did not know that. And I was like, oh wow, they got like a lot of like celebrities in this joint that I actually care about and that I would like to see more of. But I guarantee you they're gonna kill those people pretty quick. Like you could tell that like half that cast is literally just padding.
But
so you have deaths.
That's not that bad, like for a Suicide Squad movie though. Like if you make like a huge, like, I mean, if you shell out the money and be like Robert De Niro, like Leonardo DiCaprio, just to be the cameo that gets killed, like that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. I just was like, the people that I probably care the least about will probably end up sticking around for the longest.
Yeah, they'll be the actual talent of the movie.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess so.
You could discover new actors that now you care about.
Could be.
Like me and Bautista. I could give two shits before, but then he did something I like, and I'm like, yeah, he's the next Rock.
Was that
Artemis?
Was that you like?
That was something I liked that he was really good in.
It was Guardians 2 was really.
It was actually no. It was him in Infinity War.
Him in Infinity War. Really? Or are you just messing around?
Yeah, like I'm like, you know what? This dude, like, I hate even all the Guardians. Like, I hate the Guardians movies, but they did okay in Infinity War. Well, because a bunch of them died, but but his Drax is like, oh, okay. And then I saw him in Stuber and Hotel Artemis, and then I Spy.
Yeah, My Spy was funny.
And then I saw his scene in Blade Runner 2049. I haven't watched the movie, but I saw his scene, and he was really good. And I'm like, you know what? This guy's maybe, but I didn't care about him before. Yeah.
Right.
That's how you're going to be about whoever the fuck is still alive in Suicide Squad, too.
Yes. I'll be like, you know what? That Idris Elba, he might have a future.
Oh, he's going to die.
I don't know. I feel like he's going to be their new Will Smith, right?
I mean, he's Deadshot.
He's not Deadshot.
No,
who is
Bloodsport?
There it is.
Yeah, no, he's going to die.
Okay, there it is.
Bloodsport.
Tiger Clan Chess says, I'm curious about Bloodsport. The backstory for this character was intriguing.
Yeah.
His backstory?
Say what?
Did they say his backstory in the panel?
Not that I remember.
No, Tiger Clan went to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Like, I just looked at the asinine trivia game they played.
Oh, yeah, that was bad. That was bad. I don't understand why they do stuff like that. Like, that's not, I don't, like, I feel like maybe that might be interesting in person, but probably not. It's just like, I don't feel like that's what people are there for, right? They want to ask questions or.
But they want to give you something to watch online on the YouTube bootleg.
I know it definitely doesn't work with the amount of people they had.
It's too many people.
Like, you could do that with about 9 people or 11 if you do like a Hollywood Squares type of joint.
Yeah. And this joint was like 2 football teams.
Right.
I was like, man, there are a lot of Suicide Squad members, goddamn. I was like, who is Polka Dot Man? I've never heard of that.
Really?
No, Polka Dot Man?
Who's playing him?
He was in one of the in the Nolan Batman movies. He's like he was like a mental patient in one of the movies.
Who's playing him?
I can't remember.
Yeah,
it's
quick.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. I don't remember, but there's a lot, like John Cena's in this joint.
Yeah.
Friggin' what's oh boy, The Last Doctor. Nobody remembers the name of The Last Doctor?
Damn. You know I don't watch that shit.
I mean, I can barely remember the name of the current doctor, and I watch her.
Jodie Whittaker.
Right.
She's in?
No, but the last Doctor, his last name starts with a C.
Nobody cares who's that. We're talking about who's in Suicide Squad.
He's in Suicide Squad.
No, I get it, but you're talking about Jodie Whittaker. Like, nobody gives a fuck about no Jodie Whittaker. We all know who's in Suicide Squad.
David Dalmastian.
I don't know who.
Oh, that guy wrote that comic.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did on Dark Horse.
David Dalmastian wrote which comic?
Yeah, what's it called? Midnight Crowley or some shit like that. He's a comic book writer.
Okay. Well, good for him. Listen, he's Polka Dot Man.
He was in Ant-Man.
It's like there's a much higher percentage of me knowing the fictional character than the real life person, and I don't even know the fictional character. So the real life person is probably yeah.
Wait, isn't he the thinker? You don't know the thinker?
Yeah, he's the thinker.
No. That's not Capaldi. Capaldi is the thinker. That's not who we're talking about, though, Oz.
That guy's can't be.
He's the Last Doctor guy.
Yeah, but that's not who we were talking about. Polka Dot Man, Oz.
Oh, I thought we were moved on to who the Last Doctor was. That's why we got into Whitaker. And...
No, we're talking about who's in Suicide Squad. That's what I was trying to avoid, but it got you.
Peter Capaldi was the Last Doctor and is in Suicide Squad.
Your Last Pizza.
He's in Suicide Squad.
Count Crowley is the comic book that David Dalmatian wrote.
Gonna go to Mo's house and punch him.
You ain't gonna do shit, bitch.
Oh, damn. Okay. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Could you imagine if I drove to Mo's house? Could you imagine?
On Instagram Live?
I know. They're like, man, where's Lawrence? And all of a sudden, just bust through his window. Take that. Who ain't gonna do what now? No, I don't have that kind of anger issues.
It just
right.
You see Mo go, and then a fist comes through the screen. Like, I'm just glad they got Harley Quinn looking like Harley Quinn.
Do they have Harley Quinn looking like Harley Quinn? I mean, it's closer.
It's closer than the first Suicide Squad movie. It's definitely closer than the Birds of Prey movie.
Yeah, it's much better than Birds of Prey.
Red and black in Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
I mean, but she's not over the top dressed up. She's not like over sexualized. She's just, in like a red and black sleek. It's still sexy. I mean, she's an attractive woman, but she looks good. It's not overdone.
Right.
Tiger Claw in chat says John Cena plays Peacemaker, who's described as a douchey Captain America.
Yes, that is who Peacemaker is.
And Vincent Garzon asks, Moses Magnum, do you speak Spanish?
Yes, I do.
No one believes him because he said it in English. What happened with the lessons?
Yes. Ambiance.
Well, you got too much ambiance. You gotta lessen the ambiance so people can see you, man. Listen.
My lighting just went out.
Oh no. It's like, damn. But here's the thing. The reason why I remember John Cena's name first. Oh, that would suck.
I actually don't mind how this looks. I like this.
That's fair. The reason why I remembered Cena was because he's playing Peacemaker, and the design for that joint looks so good. Like, I mean, and when I say good, I mean it's like Peacemaker's outfit is ridiculous, but it is what it is, right? It's kind of like an old school comic book kind of design, like an 80s comic book design.
You're starting to sound like that guy.
Which guy?
That I kind of like. That's in Wonder Woman.
Who I'm starting or he's starting? Who's starting to sound like it? Me?
Yeah, you're starting to sound like him, like talking shit about 80s fashion.
I mean, okay. I mean, do we feel like 80s fashion is like in?
Yes, 80s fashion is eternal.
Oh, that's not true. That's 100% not true.
I mean, depends on what part of 80s fashion you like, because I know jeans and black t-shirts. Like, I mean,
but that's 50s fashion.
Yeah, but it's still 80s too. They did it in the 80s too.
Well, but a jean and black t-shirt is like classic. Like you did it in every decade.
In the 80s, they just tucked it in and then rolled the sleeves up a little bit.
No, but that's
the white t-shirt.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but then so you're saying no one in the 50s wore a black t-shirt?
Well, I'm saying that's 50s and 80s.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna pretend 80s fashion is in just for the sake of argument so that we can talk about important stuff. like
Peacemaker is one of those guys that, like, I complain about stuff not being comic accurate, and then they bring out Peacemaker and Javelin,
right,
to rethink some decisions that I've made.
Right. It's like they made the Peacemaker outfit like 100% comic book accurate, basically. And it was just like, you get to realize how ridiculous and garish that joint looks. And it's like, oh, that's beautiful. Like, you know, at least I know that fool's going to be dead soon. Like, you know, that is, it's okay. Like, I'm not mad at it. Heck, are you joining us on a different stream? You want me to switch? Oh.
It is camera jack.
Heck, should I get rid? I'm getting rid of the other one. Okay. Heck, are you better on this one? Uh-oh. They're, whatchamacallit? They are...
I don't know.
Can you hear me?
So what's Peacemaker look like?
Oh, damn. He was on 2. I didn't mean to kick you all the way out, Heck. I'm sorry. Come back, Heck. Yeah, so Peacemaker looks like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like Peacemaker's outfit, in my opinion, it's not like it's terrible. It's just weird in so many ways. Like the headgear is really what is the problem. Like he has like this helmet that is just like it's outlandish, this helmet.
A Kirby helmet.
Yeah, it is like a Jack Kirby helmet.
Like him and Orion are cousins.
Right. And it's awesome that they have Cena wearing that. Because it just feels like they're committing hard to it. Hold on, let's see.
Is that it?
That, you know what? I don't know. It's hard to see your phone. It's like you can share your screen.
I don't know how to do that.
Heck, you're back. Go for it, Jay.
I think so.
Tiger Con chat says, I'm curious about Weasel because I read he's a guy in a weasel suit, but it looks like the movie version he's a metahuman.
I don't know who that is either. And isn't his brother playing that character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, did they make that character up for his brother? I don't
see what kind of prosthetics he would need. Like the dude looks like a weasel.
That's messed up.
Well, tell that to his parents.
It's like, why you make weasel babies?
Yeah, I didn't shit that out.
Damn. Yeah, man. Like, so I don't know. Like Suicide Squad, I will say Suicide Squad as a movie, I'm definitely more excited to see than the Snyder Cut, which that panel was very disappointing for me personally. I was just like I watched what they showed and I was just like not only did I watch what they showed me and that disappointed me, but the lead up to it, I was just like the conversation that they were all having about the Snyder Cut and like the lead, like how the Snyder Cut came into being, you would have thought that it was like some sort of like major political movement. Like they used the word movement like so much that I was just like, are we freeing Zack Snyder? Like, is this fool like a political prisoner in like Hollywood blacklist, like Hollywood jail? Like what? Like why are we talking about this? Like, you know, this was something that had to happen in order for all of us to really like truly be free. Like why?
It's a method. It's a tactic, and you learn it in one of the. You know, they have the Sun Tzu book with the Art of War, The Prince by Machiavelli, and then they have the Art of the Deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the art of the deal. Was a Snyder pulled. It's like they took him off, or he went off because he says he went off because his kid died. Then he says they took me off. There's a Snyder Cut, and then there's no Snyder Cut. Right. And then there is, and it's, you know, he conned his way into getting getting another $30 million for something he already fucked up.
Like, I was just listening to these people talk about the Snyder Cut, and I was just like, yeah, like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why it is that we're treating this as if this is like some. I mean, here's the thing. I guess, like, I'm not unhappy for the people that wanted a Snyder Cut, that one exists. I'm not unhappy for those people. It's just that I don't understand why we're acting as if it was necessary. Or even that this is going to be a better version of the movie. Like, I'm not convinced this is going to be a better version of the movie.
Well, it's going to be a series.
I totally understand Lawrence playing this down so much after all the years that he spent calling me a liar and saying it doesn't exist, no such thing, and now here we are, 2020. It's coming out next year.
It didn't exist at the time. That was 100% accurate.
It still doesn't. He's working on it.
It existed somewhere. Look, whether it's in his head, in the ether,
head.
it's coming into being.
There it is. Look,
God damn it.
That's very on brand for 2020. It existed somewhere. Alternative existence.
Yeah. Schrodinger's Snyder Cut.
Right. Exactly. I'm just like, dude, come on, man.
The only good thing about the Snyder Cut is that it pays off all the bullshit that came before it. It's the true payoff of the bullshit.
No, because we were starting to move away from that bullshit. So now it's bringing it back because they're gonna give it a sequel, even if it's like a TV series or something. That you're gonna have. Oh, look, I think so. I predict
Netflix already back.
I predict we're gonna have a Snyderverse and a DCEU. Yeah, I predict that. Like, I don't see this ending well.
And actually, Mo's right. Look, Ben Affleck's already back.
He's back.
He was done
with Tim Burton.
Now he's coming back for the Flash movie.
I mean, with Tim Burton's Batman. What's his name? Michael Keaton. Like, they're gonna be both in it, and then he's endorsing the Batman, the other thing they showed off in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that looks good.
The Batman does look good.
That's like, I mean, maybe it's a good trailer. I don't know. My only critique of the trailer is that they fucked up a haunting Nirvana song by trying to make it more.
By trying to what?
Or trying to make it more haunting.
Oh.
So it's like that song's already haunting enough. Like, you didn't have to overmodulate and add, and but
Mm-hmm.
that's that. But that shit looked good. The Justice League trailer was, I don't know. It doesn't. It looks like the same shit we already saw, just different color for half of it. Then the other half is other shit that you see that's Snyderism, but it's like, Steppenwolf?
And that was Darkseid at the beginning, right?
Yes.
Of that trailer?
Uxas or whatever his name is before he becomes Darkseid.
Oh, wait, what? We know Darkseid's name before he's Darkseid?
Yeah, Orion Pax.
No, it's not Orion Pax.
It's
No,
like Uxas or something.
It's like
It starts with a U.
It's his Orion Pax, like pre-title, like Dark, the name of title. He's not like Thanos. That's just Thanos all the time.
He doesn't really become Darkseid until he kills his brother for the Omega Beams.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about Darkseid. Like, outside of he's the head of
I forget you're not a Kirby fan.
Apocalypse, the leader of Apocalypse. I like much of what Kirby's done, but yeah, I don't mess with that.
I'm doing Kirby hands right now at you. I don't know if you can see.
I'm doing Kirby.
Just picture it in your head. Me doing Kirby hands.
Alternative existence.
Not wearing pants.
Alternative existence. So the Batman. What, Jay? Did you see the Batman at all or no?
I saw the trailer.
Okay, what'd you think of the trailer?
I don't remember.
That's fair. Look, not remembering is a stance.
I like that a lot of the Batman stuff they were showcasing was investigation-y, almost procedural. So that's like at least half the trailer is that. That means we might be getting a more detective aspect to Batman.
That is what they said the movie is. It's definitely a murder mystery.
Again, you know, I've always said like 7, but with Batman would be like a good Batman movie. And
you have said that.
This is what that feels like from the trailer.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's I was happily surprised with that. I'm happy to see that.
Batman is way too skinny. I mean, the suit fills him out a little bit, but he looks like the Grayson Batman.
But the thing is, if he's they're trying to go with more of a younger year 1, like
that's year 2.
Year 2, yeah, like it's okay because you get to, well, not the BVS, but you get the bigger, like more seasoned Batman.
It's almost like a Brett Booth drawn Batman. Yeah, which I don't think he looks bad, even though he is lankier. He definitely lankier. But what I will say is, I'm not a fan of his look as Bruce Wayne at all. Like that long-haired Bruce Wayne, which I don't mind Bruce hair. I don't mind Bruce Wayne with like longer hair, but the way that he wears it, it's like no, like it. And maybe that might just be like Twilight bias. Maybe if I, by the time I get like 15 minutes into the movie, I won't even be noticing it anymore. But in the trailer, I was just like, I don't know, man. I'm not to say that I'm like, oh, well, he should not be Batman. I'm just saying, like, we've had weird Bruce Waynes before, but he just doesn't look like Bruce Wayne.
No, he looks like Peter Parker in that third Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, that's what he looks like.
He's dancing.
You're right.
My cousin in
your cousin in what?
In Mexico, he posted a thing. I don't know. Is he a cousin? I think he's my cousin. He's my cousin's kid. My cousin, right? Or a nephew?
Your cousin's kid would be your cousin as well.
Yeah, that's still cousin.
It's your second cousin or something like that.
So he posted this, and it's a meme like, "Oh, let's make Bruce Wayne more emo," and it's like kind of little My Chemical Romance-y, but not too Blink-182-y. And then Robert Pattinson with the mascara running down.
Wait, the funny part was I saw that you posted that on social media, and I was like, "Damn, how come Google's not translating this?" And then I had to like look it up myself, and I was like, "That's hilarious." It was worth the effort. It was worth the effort because it looked like it was gonna be funny.
Yeah,
and I could tell like the first line I didn't need any translation. Like I knew they were like, "Oh, let's make Batman emo," but the second part I had no idea what they were talking about. I was like, I was like, okay, I think they're talking about My Chemical Romance, but I don't know what they're saying about My Chemical Romance. Yeah.
The Penguin looked great though.
I'm so happy that they got Alfred Molina. Like
that's too funny, man. That fool's unrecognizable as Penguin.
But why pay a handsome guy to play an ugly guy when you can just hire an ugly guy that acts good for half the price?
Damn, why you call Alfred Molina ugly?
No, I mean he's handsome, but he
costs more.
No, but you could get an ugly guy that can act good.
I don't know what to tell you. Like I don't know why they chose Old Boy to be Penguin. I know that yet you can't tell it's him. I know that.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
But he's not like, I mean, he has a name, but it's not like, it's not like, oh, Mel Gibson as the Penguin. You know what I mean? Like, Colin Farrell, like, he had his crest of his wave, and and now he gets to do the real good character stuff without having to look ugly. And yeah, I don't see why they would that much money.
I do agree with Mo that Colin Farrell's the dude that looks so good in a fucking suit that everybody expected like an Emperor Penguin type of thing.
Yeah.
Where he's in the blonde hair.
Yeah.
And it was shocking that it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy it's not, but you literally could have gotten Alfred Molina. Like, I don't think he would cost more than Colin Farrell. Like, and he's a good enough actor. Like, if you're trying to go for good acting,
Alfred Molina does have a lot more awards.
Yeah, he might be better than Colin Farrell. I'm not going to say that because Colin Farrell's actually a pretty good actor.
No, he's good. I'm just saying, the awards translates to dollars often,
right?
Or if you're like, hey, I got two Oscars, you're trying to pay me they have to pay more. So maybe Colin Farrell don't have no Oscars, right?
He might.
Really?
But I don't know. But I mean, Rick and Morty got Alfred Molina, so.
Nah, but I think that's Rick and Morty.
That's Rick and Morty.
I feel like Rick and Morty get whoever they want.
But that's like season 1.
Yeah, right.
Season 1 Rick and Morty.
I can't even think about what. I hear what you're saying, though. I hear what you're saying. And, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who would surprise me if they showed up on Rick and Morty, but it wouldn't be many people. But anyway, and then they also announced that new Gotham show is actually going to tie directly into this movie.
That's pretty good. I'm happy.
So it's like expanding. Right. It'll be a prequel and talking about corruption in Gotham. Oh boy looked good as Commissioner Gordon.
Dude,
even though
Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah. He's like
wait, what did you say, Oz? I'm sorry.
He's not Commissioner.
He's not Commissioner Gordon.
I'm sorry. As Jim Gordon, I'm sorry. Right, he's not commissioner yet.
And second of all,
Nah, get the fuck out of here.
You don't think he looked good as Gordon?
No, everybody just thinks, he's got glasses and a mustache. That's all you need.
No, you guys didn't let me get to my aspect of Jim Gordon. He talks like Jim Gordon. Like when you read the comic, you hear Jeffrey Wright. Yeah. And that doesn't happen. It happens, but not a lot. Like
no, absolutely.
Some of the Batman movies is not too much. Even in the Nolan, like you had what's his name? The Chameleon.
Oldman? Was it
Gary Oldman.
Oldman.
Yeah.
Oldman. Yeah.
Gary Oldman, like he did a good job, but he didn't like. I mean, you got animated series Commissioner Gordon. Sounds like Gordon. Gary Oldman, great job, and then Jeffrey Wright sounds like Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, you all know me, man. I want my comic book characters to look exactly like how they look in the comic.
Well, we can't have that anymore.
We can't what?
We can't have that anymore.
Why can't we?
Because your boy Josh Boone, like he's like, I found a good enough actor to maybe not give a fuck about racism in this film.
Hey, man, we go save that whole conversation for next week because look, right. Joe's probably gonna go see that movie anyway. So
subscribe, hit the bell so you hear us talk about the Bonehead Move by Josh Boone.
Yeah, but
theaters aren't open in California.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. I don't mean to. I'm not happy that theaters are closed because I know you were anticipating going to go see that joint. But how did California, like, no theaters are open?
No.
You're not even going to try to look for like a drive-in theater to go watch it? That's a possibility. I'm pretty sure those are open.
Yeah, because they're doing a Metallica concert drive-in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
might be
into that.
Yeah,
that was a thing again.
Oh yeah, look, they've been doing drive-in movies for at least like a month or so now because they're trying to do whatever they can to make these things work.
Yeah, nobody told.
Did Tenet come out already?
No, Tenet got pushed
to September.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I like my characters to look like how they look in the comic, and I was anticipating not liking the way that he looks as Jim Gordon. And sure enough, I was just like, you know what? He looks like he's really embodying that role.
Well, Jeffrey Wright is a talented actor. I mean, I'm not gonna take that away from him.
Yeah, and I remember telling
don't
Larry
really care.
that he was going to be good.
I don't really care about Jim Gordon. I'm more concerned with Barbara Gordon.
I hear that. That's interesting. That's really interesting. But we already got a black Batwoman, so who knows what's gonna happen with Batgirl, right?
Like you love Alfred's niece Batwoman or Batgirl. So
Who's Alfred? Oh, you're talking in the movies.
Yeah. You're okay with
Are you
that?
talking about Oz or me?
Yeah, everybody.
Oh no, I don't think any of us loved that.
But you okay?
Like he's talking about, what's that, Batman and Robin?
No,
Yeah.
I hate the movie.
Yeah, no, like, nobody likes that movie.
We're talking about Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
My
I hated her.
favorite Batgirl is in the Batman XXX, and it still bugged me that she didn't have red hair. Although I think that's how I did it in the show, right? She had a red wig.
Yeah.
Mm. Mo, would you mind adding Hecton? Is that possible?
On Skype.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
So we got the Batman. They talked about the Batman TV show, the Gotham one. We got Suicide Squad. We got Snyder Cut. So that's all the movies and TV, right? Is it
yeah.
what'd you say, Oz?
That's the only thing that matters.
Oh man, that's messed
Oh,
up.
Wonder Woman. Sorry. Oh,
Exactly. See, look, we didn't talk about Wonder Woman. I mean, they definitely had, like, of course, like the Flash panel, and there was no Aquaman anything, right? No, I don't think so. I think it was but Wonder Woman. What, like, Jay, did you get to see the Wonder Woman panel?
Yes.
What'd you think of that, John?
Pedro Pascal was annoying
What about him was annoying for you?
because he was talking shit about 80s power suits.
Jay, why are you so obsessed with 80s fashion all of a sudden?
I don't know. There's just something about how he was talking shit. Like I don't know. It just really, I don't know, struck a nerve with me. And I like Pedro Pascal. Like,
yeah, no, the great guy's great.
Wall, which was amazing.
He's all right.
He didn't really do anything in the Great Wall, but I love his line at the end of the movie.
I mean, is that what you're gonna go with? Like, that's why you like Pedro Pascal, because of that movie?
I looked up his thing. Like, I don't remember what else. Oh
Like,
yeah,
I mean,
he was the Mandalorian.
yeah, he was awesome in Kingsman.
oh, you son of a bitch! Don't get me wrong. You're not wrong. He's great in the Kingsman, but like, dude, he was in Game of Thrones and The Mandalorian. You're not gonna mention either one of those?
Joe hasn't watched Game of Thrones.
Yet.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on my new book.
Like he got HBO Max. He's paying for it, and he hasn't watched Game of Thrones yet.
I bought it for the cartoons.
But Joe, I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying you have to watch it, but you know he's in that without having seen it.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Like, who even is he in that?
He's the Arab guy.
He's the Viper.
The Viper?
Yeah,
The
the Vindel Viper.
The slave?
No. The dude that kills the mountain.
He doesn't. Well, he doesn't kill. He gets killed by the mountain.
Yeah,
Both
Like,
happened.
yeah, he killed them too because that's why I had to make.
Both happened.
That's why I had to bring him back from the dead.
Look, all I know is one person left that arena. It wasn't him.
It wasn't
They-
the mountain either.
They were both carried out. Like, I don't.
Yeah, but which one came back in the later episode?
Okay.
But he
But
got
the mountain was still alive after that. Okay.
no. He was undead.
That's still alive.
No,
The
it's not
opposite
alive.
of
That's
dead
why
is
they
alive.
no, but it's not the opposite of dead. It's undead, not alive, and not dead, undead.
Oh, he plays the Mandalorian?
Oh, you son of a bitch. I'm so mad at this guy. Like, I don't
I'm not that
understand.
I'm not that bad.
why- No, you gotta be like,
No.
like,
Why?
why would he not know this? We've been talking about
Pedro Pascal was in only half the episodes.
it. Okay,
Well,
Mo.
takes off his helmet where you see his face like for a minute
Yeah,
in that
but
whole series.
the half of those episodes, it was the guy, the stuntman.
My dude, like, we talked about him as the Mandalorian.
I know.
Well,
You
You know, I'm bad with names. I'm even worse with faces.
You look, you remembered him from Kingsman.
Because I have his Wikipedia page up.
Okay. All right.
Like, once you tell me who he was, like, okay, I remember Jack Daniels. Like, I remember him.
Yeah.
So I've associated
I like that movie.
the name to the character.
Got it. Yeah, no, he's the Mandalorian, Jay.
Okay. Yeah, he's good. He just needs to stop talking shit. About
All I'm
power.
saying, what I will tell you is this, Jay. You go to an interview in an 80s power suit. I promise you won't get the job.
Well, I'm not going to get the job.
Well, not in
anyway.
2020, but you're in the 80s, you're fine.
Well, but he's talking about 2020. He's talking about
He's a
how,
movie that takes place in the 80s. That's why he was wearing the suit.
right, but he was saying how it felt weird wearing that suit because it's so out of style. In
Oh,
2020,
That Mandalorian outfit felt perfectly natural.
I'm sure.
I hate this guy too, Jay. I'm with you again.
It is the way.
And you know what? His wig looks horrible.
But you know what though?
I don't know why Max Lord has a Trump wig on.
Like, I didn't even recognize that was Pedro Pascal with that wig on. I was like, what? I was like, what's he doing here? That's funny, man. So yeah,
Why
what
is
you
Max
what?
Lord even in that movie? Like he's supposed to die and it's a whole thing. Oh my god! Now I'm pissed off.
Honestly, I think it's
out of my
oh,
head.
go ahead.
I see why I pushed this goddamn movie out of my head. That and then Cheetah looks dumb.
I saw
Yeah.
because I didn't watch Fandom, but I did see a like toy mock-up or statue,
Mhm.
and it looked horrible.
Yeah, it's a bad look.
Movie.
But the thing is, like that fur doesn't look like cheetah fur.
There's not even spots.
She looks like Lon Chaney Jr. in The Wolfman.
I don't know who that is.
I mean, you've seen The Wolfman?
Oh, like the OG Wolfman.
Yeah, the OG Wolfman. Like when he's
Got
like,
it.
that's
Got it. I'm getting the reference. I
Yeah.
get that reference.
It's like I try to sound intelligent and you don't appreciate it.
I listen. That's my bad, friend. You went over my head. You gotta dumb it down. You went over my head.
I don't understand why Wonder Woman needs the chicken outfit, the chicken armor in this movie.
What?
That shit,
What?
I like that.
Why do you call it chicken armor?
That's what they call it because it's from the Kingdom Come. It's like a version of that. They called it the chicken armor.
They called it that in Kingdom Come? I don't think so.
Not in Kingdom Come. People who read Kingdom Come began calling it the chicken armor since that book came out.
Oh, I don't remember that. I don't think anyone has ever called it
You didn't
chicken
read
armor.
Kingdom Come.
I did read Kingdom Come. What are you talking about? You're talking craziness.
He just didn't talk to people who read it.
That might be true.
He read the Lawrence read the like just the text because he hates Alex Ross so goddamn much.
No, that's Joe.
See, look, Oz confusing the black guys again.
Yeah.
I know.
I thought Oz is working. Why is he drinking?
Listen, so I don't, I have mixed feelings about the armor. And some when she's standing a certain way, it looks good, and when she's standing other ways, it looks a little weird. I don't know what it's for, and it might be better when I get to see it in the context of the movie.
That
But I
arc,
will say,
like, it's more symbolic.
yeah, right. But I'm very disappointed with what I saw from the trailer in regards to Cheetah. Like, I feel like that whole character is going to be like the bad part of the movie, like, which is kind of wild because I would not have thought that Max Lord would be the highlight. You know, or not the highlight, but like the part that like makes it worthwhile. But I think, yeah, it's going to be like whatever's happening with him and Wonder Woman is probably going to be the part that's going to make it like make the movie. And then you're going to have like Cheetah randomly inserted event, like slowly but surely getting these like animalistic powers until she turns into that terrible thing that has Kristen Wiig's face. And it's going to be like, it's like, oh, like I hope Wonder Woman kills this quick.
It's like
it's just bugging me that it feels like this sequel is moving more and more towards how the Batman movies, the 80s and 90s ones, where they're doing a lot more to sell toys in this movie, where the first movie was just, to tell a good story. This one is to sell toys, and that's why we got the chicken armor. That's why we got this weird looking cheetah that they wanna sell. It's just I don't like the way it's going.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things probably where, they left people alone to make Wonder Woman the first time, and they were just like, here, take your money and make your little movie, not realizing that it was actually going to be a hit for them.
They didn't know it was going to save them.
Huh?
Patty Jenkins would sell out that quick.
They didn't know it would save them.
No, but that's the thing. It's not Patty Jenkins selling out. It's probably now that they realize that it's a hit and it's a marketable franchise. Now they're like, oh, well, let's get all the marketing behind it, and like we need toys, and we need her to be in 4 different outfits. And Patty Jenkins is probably like, well, why? And they're like, hey, we need 4 outfits,
but
and we need,
look, yeah, it might be that, but I mean, we've seen Jason and the Argonauts, like he had to get the golden fleece. Like, what if she had to get the golden chicken armor
in the 80s?
No, just in general. I'm not talking about no 80s. I'm just talking about Wonder Woman, like as a story. Like, why can't they do kind of a hero's journey type like Jason and the Argonauts, where she has to get that thing in the hero's journey to progress a story?
I mean, it's possible.
Tiger Claw in chat says, I wish Cheetah looked more like the one from the Justice League cartoon, where she looked more cat-like with the whiskers.
I agree with Tiger Claw.
That's because Tiger Claw's a furry.
I wouldn't say it the way he did, but I also agree.
Yeah, I agree with that too. But yeah, man, it's like her face just on that body is weird. It's just weird, like, and I'm like, I get that they want her to be recognizable, but it's like one of those things where, like, at some point when you're doing these characters, somebody has to like put in a clause where it's just like, or I don't know if it's a clause, but just like you need to hire the actor that understands, like, when you become the Cheetah Woman, they're not gonna recognize it's you because it looks like a cheetah. Like, why do you not hire the actor that gets that?
Well, here the thing is,
it's not always the actor.
Yeah, and you're thinking of like, why would we, like, from a studio perspective, like, why would we not want to showcase Kristen Wiig, that it's Kristen Wiig? You know what I mean? Like, especially now that where CGI and shit's so advanced, it's like, well, we kind of got to make it look like her so that it actually like connects with the audience. See,
I guess my thing is,
no, I don't think that's
the
case.
No, like, that's why Thanos looks so handsome, I guess.
Like, I think I'm not disagreeing that they do it. I don't think it's for the connection, or I wouldn't say it's to connect with the audience. It's just to showcase the star.
Right.
Like, why would you, from their standpoint, why would we hire Kristen Wiig and not make her look like Kristen Wiig?
But that's why that's why from a story. Oh, go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
That's like what the studios want to do. Like it's not always the actor saying, "I want to make sure I look like me." Sometimes the studio is like, "Well, we're putting out money for this person. We want it to look like this person."
But then you show them the picture of the character, and you're like, "But this is what the person looks like," and it's like a cheetah person.
Like, I don't think actors should look like themselves in movies.
Well, look, here's the thing. It's like they're willing to,
hyperbolic.
Like trying to be, like you want to give the studios the benefit of the doubt. Like it's not the artist, but it could be the studio. But then you get like Colin Farrell, and you just make him look ugly. Like, you know,
right?
So like, which is it? Like that's why that's where my mind goes into. Like, yeah, it might be an artistic from the director's point, where it's like we got to make her look still human, some redeemable quality, so the people could give a fuck about her. You know,
it's like they covered up Hugo Weaving's face in V for Vendetta for the whole joint.
Nobody gives a shit about Hugo Weaving. Like he's a good actor.
I love Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like he's not a face that you want to see.
Damn. You calling all these actors ugly this show?
It's not even about that. It's that again. This is a Fantastic Four motif. Asses and seats.
Asses and seats.
He's not like the elite, especially then when they got him. Like he wasn't a leading man like that.
I hear that.
You know, he still isn't.
I agree with you.
So it's like it doesn't matter if his face is in a fucking mask. But Kristen Wiig, she's like America's dirty sweetheart. Like she makes the movie that we wish we could live, like from a suburban white woman like mentality. You know what I mean?
There it is. Moses Magnum in touch with the suburban white woman.
I'm not in touch. I just know like how they market shit. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you got to make her. You got to make that character still human.
In my mind, I'm just like, the woman is probably only going to be like fully cheetah for like the last like 15 minutes or 20 minutes of the movie. Yeah. So if you have her as Kristen Wiig all that time, I think we can like Wonder Woman can beat the bejesus out of her and she could turn back to Kristen Wiig at the end. And it's like, we like give us at least that 20 minutes of her looking like what she's supposed to look like, as opposed to this thing, because that thing is crazy. And don't get me wrong, the effects might not be finished. I can give it that. It might look better once the movie releases, but what they showed us looks terrible.
It was supposed to release like a year ago. You're telling me that they just didn't decide to work on it?
Wonder Woman wasn't supposed to release a year ago, was it?
Supposed to come out in like July.
Okay.
So it was supposed to already be out by now anyway, so it should have been finished.
It was supposed to come out like in April or March.
But my dude, there was a pandemic. I don't know if you heard about it.
Yeah,
it's like some people aren't doing their videos, huh?
They still would have had it planned to be finished by then.
By March?
By whenever the original date was. In which case, they have to finish it like months before because they have to print it and ship it out to the theaters.
It
was finished way before shit got closed down.
I don't think that's true.
Films are digital now.
I don't believe that I don't believe that in March the visual effects for a movie coming out in July were done. I don't believe that. I could be wrong, because Lord knows I don't make movies. But I don't think so. I feel like
let's assume that you're right, Lawrence. Let's assume that the visual effects weren't done. Mm-hmm. It's still something you don't have to be in a central area to do. You know, you could do visual effects from home. Zack Snyder's getting visual effects done right now.
No, man, listen. Like I mean, you know better than I do. Like, good looking visual effects, you got to render, right? Like nobody has that at their home.
I'm saying this movie was done way before. Like I guarantee they have not worked and are not going to work on those effects at all this year.
That's fair. What were you going to say, Jay?
Oh, I was just going to say, like, I've been to, like, you know, how movies will screen themselves before releases.
Yes.
And I've been to those where it's like a month out and they're not done with, like, they're still showing green screen.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, the time for for finishing the effects gets tight.
Yeah, like I remember, was it Lord of the Rings, the first one? Didn't get finished till like a week before theater release.
Yeah, man. I just think it probably wasn't done yet, but who knows? Like, I might just be hoping against hope. Yeah. What's funny, Jay?
Tiger Claw in chat says Kristen Wiig will bring asses and seats. However, Cheetah Butt and Tail will bring asses and seats too. Like, that's funny to me. That's
Jay's tapping into his inner Tiger Claw humor. So, can we talk about some of these games?
Yeah, do all you want. I didn't see any of it. They didn't want me to see it.
Gotham Knights.
You didn't see any of the game stuff, Mo?
No.
Okay.
Where am I going to see it?
You can go to YouTube and see it now.
Oh, now, but not during fandom. I got other shit to do now. Like I still have to watch. I still haven't finished watching like Whack in Open Air or Whack in Worldwide now.
I don't even know what are you talking about. What is that?
Whackin's a music festival in Europe, and it's the biggest one in the world. And this year they couldn't do it, so they had to do it online.
Oh wow!
Like in the style of fandom, where you go to a website, but it did work on mobile and console browsers. And
Gotcha. El Hecht, I'm sorry if we weren't able to get you on Skype, but you can hear us, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm on the computer now. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, you sound fantastic, buddy.
Awesome.
So yeah, if you can do video, great. If you can't, that's okay. You can just talk.
I've got a webcam on this one.
That's fine. No problem. You just talk to us, buddy. So, and you know, those of you out there listening or watching, if you are like, hey, I don't have the webcam, it's okay. Come on in, talk to us, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, Kindle, so it turns out Kindle Skype doesn't let you do multiple callers.
Got you.
Watching Kindle.
I gotta work that out on my end. That's my bad. Jay, what were you saying about Gotham Knight?
Oh, that shit looks amazing.
Or Gotham Knights?
Yeah.
Gotham Knights.
Yes. That's.
You got Tim Drake in the game finally.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Man.
But he was unrecognizable, right?
I don't think he was unrecognizable in the gameplay footage, but when they were all standing there, he did look like Damian.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because he had like the spiky hair, and the outfit was more of that like League of Assassins inspired kind of.
I know
Robin outfit.
None of you knew till some tweet or something like 2 days later.
No. I literally said it like the day of.
Was it?
Yeah, we both said it the day of.
Yeah, no, it's like it looks like Tim Drake, and Jay was saying it sounds like he talks like Tim Drake.
Right,
but
Damian, but there's a part where Batgirl slips, and Tim is like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll pretend I didn't see that," and that's like totally a Tim thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not Damian at all.
Yeah,
I was like, man, he talks like Tim, and then Larry was like, "I think it is Tim," and then I was like, "I think you're right." Like,
yeah, but it's sad though because Jay had to like. There was a part of him that was doubtful simply because they have kept this fool out of games for so long. That Jay was like, it doesn't make sense to be Tim Drake because video game developers hate Tim Drake.
He looked like Damian too. So it's like, how did you find out it was Tim?
So we found out it was Tim because once the site went live, like the actual video game website,
right?
Each character has like a page, like a profile page, and it says who they are. And
that
Tim
was
Drake.
a fandom or their fandom presentation.
Well, it's the video game website. Like, why would the website be?
No. I'm asking because you said it's the same day, and you're watching Fandom or figuring out Fandom.
Oh no, that was it. No, the confirmation came like a day later, maybe or two.
Which is what I said earlier, and you guys told me it's the same day.
But I'm saying I said the same day that I think it's Tim Drake.
No, the confirmation that it was. Like, you guys didn't find out that it actually was till the next day.
Okay, sure, Mo. Yeah, sure, Mo. We didn't
No,
find out.
I'm trying to see like how good these Fandom presentations are. Like, you
None of the presentations were good.
No, well, I didn't watch it.
That presentation was good. It didn't go and say who each character was, as far as like their names and all that kind of stuff in the presentation. They just used their code names. Obviously, because it's Robin, there's multiple Robins you could choose from.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, we knew it was either Tim Drake or Damian. And
right.
So because you already had Red Hood and you had Nightwing. So, that's like, which are only one person can be, or yeah, there's only, well, you only get those Robins or those people as those people. So we knew who their identities were.
So from what you saw in the presentation, it was a coin toss till the next day.
I wouldn't have said it was a coin toss. I was very convinced it was Tim Drake.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I would have been shocked to find out it was Damian Wayne. But we got confirmation.
Was it still a possibility from what you saw?
Oh, I mean, yeah, anything's possible,
Not
right?
to me.
Kinda, yeah.
No, I mean, I'm saying because you said like you didn't know.
Yeah. I think that the strangest part of this whole thing is that this game is not a part of like the whole Arkham universe thing. It's like, you don't think that's strange?
Well, story-wise, it's stupid.
Why is it stupid?
Because from the trailer, I get that Batman has died, and
yeah, that's what he says.
The family has to come together to protect Gotham. Sounds like they should be battling for the cowl at this point, right?
Well, no, you protect the people first, right?
No,
maybe they are,
because the symbolism of a Batman in Gotham is what scares criminals away from committing as much crime as they normally would.
So you feel like someone should take the mantle first, and then you fight everybody.
Yeah,
but that didn't even happen in the comic.
That's true.
Yeah, it
No, they fight the criminals and then they battle for the cowl. Right?
They were protecting the city and then kind of simultaneously fighting for the cowl. But there was still
but they're not doing a battle for the cowl in this game.
How do you know that?
And being individual, because they're just going off and being their own. They're all together, like just hanging out. Like, okay, well, you go that way, I'll go this way. They're not trying to decide.
That could be the
missed the gameplay that I saw, but Red Hood was beating the shit out of Tim.
Look, that might be the whatchamacallit. That might be the PvP aspect of this game to see who gets the cowl.
Like, if you're doing a game with everybody but Batman and you're gonna have a battle for the cowl, you save that for the next game.
Well, first of all,
was he beating the crap out of Tim while wearing the cowl?
No, he had his helmet on.
They're fighting for the cowl. They gotta put the ladder. They gotta put the ladder in the middle of the ring and climb up to grab the cowl to win. Oz,
that's it.
Come on, dude. First of all, though,
Batman in the bank,
helmet and the cowl. It was an amazing thing to look at.
I will say this, like, and I'm sure that you all agree with me here. Like, Batman is not actually dead. Like, that's not like Batman is not dead in this story.
Batman ain't dead. He's just
Batman's
DLC.
not dead in any story.
He's just DLC.
Who created the resurrection machine?
Listen, man. I mean, I'm just saying, like, he's not dead. And so, yeah, right. Like, Batman will probably end up being DLC. It's a Court of Owls story as well. So shoot, for all we know, Batman might be the final boss. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who knows, man?
True, because if it's Court of Owls, Batman ain't an owl. Grayson is an owl.
Well, my guy, it's a different
I
story.
guess I could say.
They're not saying like, oh, well, this is canon.
Yeah,
They're telling you a video game story,
but they're
Why
not
are
even
you
adapting either.
huh?
They're not even trying to adapt a comic story either. Like they're
Right.
just doing their own thing. Like they're not even trying to be a sequel to Arkham.
No. Mm-mm. Oz says F that.
The Suicide Squad, that is going to be connected to Arkham,
Yes.
that game.
Yeah.
What did you think about that one?
Goofy too.
That looks goofy too.
Yeah, at least the Gotham Knights game visually looks like it's going to be good to look at. Whatever my problems with the story, it looks like it's going to be fun to play. It looks like it's going to be a great visual experience. It looks like a modern game. The Suicide Squad game, to me, looks like Fortnite reskinned.
I can see that. You definitely get some Fortnite vibes off of it, especially when you start messing with Captain Boomerang. I don't know what exactly he's doing. Like, it looks like he got tapped into the Speed Force or something. I don't know.
I think he's teleporting through the boomerang.
Which is weirder. It's like, I don't feel like that would help me.
You know what it is? They fucked up and got that boomerang from Spider-Man mixed with Speed Demon, and they're like, oh,
That's it. It's like the walls are coming down between these universes already. But no, man, I will say this: the character design isn't bad, even though they do have a black Deadshot, which I don't know.
that's not bad.
I don't know. I'm just like,
No more black people in games.
no, definitely black people in games, but they don't have to be Deadshot. Like, let them be something else. They're black characters that are in the Suicide Squad, right? Like, why don't we use those?
It's not just that he's a black Deadshot. I also don't like that the way the character. It's like Bane in the Deadshot outfit.
Why is it Bane?
But I like how he's
Because
like,
he's just huge.
he's like, it's not just that he's black.
For real, right? But no, dude, he's not that big. You're talking crazy right now. Like, Bane would have to be like King Shark size to be like Bane. He's not that
I think
buff.
he's
He's
bigger
just
than King Shark in that game.
you're insane.
Why they smart all of a sudden?
And why what? Oh, why is King Shark smart? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's like they took the King Shark from the Harley Quinn animated.
And
They probably did.
That is definitely not the King Shark from the Harley Quinn animated. That joint, that King Shark is funny.
I love that. That's my favorite King Shark.
I don't think so. But,
The shit with
Right.
his brother.
dude, it's very funny. It's just not King Shark, and
Look,
I'm over it. I'm
what-
over it,
what do you
but it's
want
funny.
in a King Shark? What do you want in a King Shark?
I actually like the Flash King Shark.
Hey, that
If we're not talking animated.
had no kind of character, nothing. He's just
Well, I mean-
a Flash on water.
But I'm saying, like, you're acting like King Shark is usually like this deep character in anything. He's not
That's
usually.
okay. That's why I love the Harley Quinn, because it gives me something to like about him.
But King Shark's not supposed to be likable.
Why not?
He's like a force of nature kind of character. You know what I mean? It's like,
And
and hey, listen, I'm not mad at it. I'm not telling you need to like the other version. I'm just saying, for me, it's like that's kind of what I'm used to, and so that's what I think. I don't know if I would say I would prefer it, because the Arkham take.
some people,
I'm sorry.
some people are used to Confederate statues.
That's true. I was going to say that I'm actually interested to learn more about the Suicide Squad video game take, because it is allowing King Shark to have a character, but it seems as though he might still kind of have that vicious streak in him that I like about the actual character. Like,
Well,
I don't
who voices him, right?
know. Who is it?
Samoa Joe.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And the funny thing is, like, the King Shark and the Harley Quinn joint is Devin Funches, and that guy's really hilarious. and he won me over. But I rather like I want King Shark to act more King Sharkish, even though he does it a little bit. That remind me after the show to tell you all about or ask you all about another animated series with Devin Funches in it.
But the thing is, like, we're doing a show.
I think after the show.
Yeah, but what the audience can't hear that.
No, what? I'm asking you all to remind me, so I tell you. Never mind. You know what? Never mind. Look, you know what? Don't look. Definitely don't. I don't want to tell you all about it no more. I'm good.
Weird way to segue into Lower Decks.
Yeah, I guess so, right? Because Suicide Squad had no gameplay anyway. I'm mad at just real quick. I'm mad at the either I don't know if you want to call it a nightstick or a tonfa that they gave Batgirl. It feels very unnecessary, and it was just one of those things where it's like everybody else has a weapon, so we need to give her a weapon. And I think it would actually been better if they didn't give her a weapon, and maybe give her more like gadgety stuff, which I think they all have gadgets, maybe. But
real quick, I guess a question I have because I didn't see it. What's the gameplay look like? It's not like Avengers where it's like you just have a bunch of characters with a similar type of gameplay.
No, it's Arkham.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's the thing. I mean, I'm gonna say yes and no because obviously it's like basically built on that Arkham combat, or at least it looks like it is. But and when you say do the characters play similar, it's like, well, yeah, it's the Bat family. They all have the same skill sets, right? So it's just they might have little things here and there that make them a little different. The only thing that kind of bugs me is that it does that weird which a lot of games are doing this, and I don't know why, but because this bugged me about the Avengers game too, where they did the whole the whole weird kind of like neon colory thing for everybody, where it's like
80s aesthetic.
It's not an 80s aesthetic. It's just that everybody's weapons glow. And it's like, I know that, Nightwing, sometimes he has those, like his things glow. His, what are those called? I can't even remember.
They're Kali sticks.
Eskrima
Thank
stick.
you. There you go. Both of you are right. Right? Or actually, no, the Kali sticks. No, they are Kali sticks too, right?
But the style is called Kali Eskrima. So
there you go. There you go. Okay, cool. Right. So you're both right. So I know some people have drawn them in the comics where they glow. I've never seen a staff that a Robin has had that glows. Has that been a thing too?
I never
I know usually when they have like a bow staff or whatever, like it's just a regular bow staff. It might be a color, like it might be like a green bow staff, but they basically put like colors on it, and they put colors on her nightstick thingy or her tonfa or whatever, and I'm just like, I don't like it, and just have like a random little glowy thing that it felt unnecessary to me. I felt like it would have been really cool if she was like unarmed and just was holding her own. But I guess it makes sense for her to have some sort of weapon, but I think they could have done something different that would have been cooler. So, but yeah, we should. Go ahead.
The studio that's doing Gotham Knights, it's the studio that made Arkham Origins, isn't it?
It's Rocksteady. So
no, Rocksteady did the 3 basic Arkham games. Then you have that other one, Arkham Origins, that wasn't Rocksteady.
The bad one.
Yeah.
That's
the prequel.
I thought Rocksteady was doing the Arkham Knights game.
No, Rocksteady is doing Suicide Squad.
Oh, they're doing Suicide Squad. Okay. So it's then is it
because the name during the
Silicon Knights? No, that's not right.
No, the one that's doing Gotham Knights, it said something like Warner Brothers Montreal something studio.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that's the one that did Arkham Origins.
That you're probably right. And that was not well received.
It was decent, but it wasn't Rocksteady.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Anyway, let's get into this Lower Decks.
Okay. Are we gonna do Heavy Metal Minute first, or are we gonna do it?
No, we'll do it after.
Okay, let's do Lower Decks.
Let me do this review.
Comic book
Review.
comic book
Like,
Review.
well, not like that, but like,
All right. So, oh yeah, you're absolutely right, Heck. It is that. It is the same studio. All right. Star Trek Lower Decks. Let's talk about it. Oz, what do you think of Star Trek Lower Decks?
It's somebody tried to make Rick and Morty in a Star Trek universe, but they've never watched Star Trek.
Okay. What'd you say, Mo?
Or
No.
have the same creativity that like a Harmon would have. It's not funny. I didn't enjoy it.
Well, the guy that did it, he actually worked on Rick and Morty.
Right, and they
There-
got rid of he sucked. I get it.
Did they get rid of him, or did he leave to go make a Star Trek animated series?
Well, he left to go do Solar Opposites, and then he did Star Trek.
Look, Solar Opposites isn't that great either. It's better
Oh wow!
than X, but it's not, it's not on par with the Rick and Morty that everybody's trying to emulate.
I did.
Right.
I did explain it when we were watching it with Emily. Like, it does feel like a diluted version of like all these. Like, if you start from Community down through Rick and Morty, to Star Trek Lower Decks, it is like a distilled version, and you can see the actual flow of the distillation just by the people working on it.
Oh wow! Wait, so is this guy? Is it like the? Is it Royland? Is it the partner?
The McMahon.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So we're like third generation.
Hmm. He did write on Rick and Morty, but then he did Solar Opposites with Royland, and then he did Star Trek Lower Decks on his own.
Wow.
But I'm not going to say that as a bad thing either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I see it as a full circle for him. Like, seeing what he worked on in the past is like, oh, he clearly liked Star Trek, and now he's got the pull to work on a Star Trek project.
Right. Right.
I would say the opposite, that he never watched Star Trek in his life.
Again, now I'm judging it as somebody who's never watched Star Trek in their life. Like,
That's fair.
so
That's
I
fair.
enjoy it. And I mean, I have watched Star Trek, but it's okay. I like this.
Jay, what did you think of Lower Decks? Star Trek Lower Decks.
Oh, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really funny. It felt Star Trekky to me. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, everyone's comparing it to Rick and Morty. I would compare it more to.
Final Space.
Say again?
Final Space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Final Space with the Star Trek motif.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, I mean, I actually thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
Word.
Now,
Word.
this is a question I had watching it for Oz. I know, Larry, you like Star Trek, but not like how Joe does or Oz does. And
Oh, okay.
well, I mean, how many novels have you read, Larry?
I mean, not a lot.
How
Like,
many?
I think one,
Okay,
maybe.
Joe.
I
How
think
about
it was Star Trek X-Men.
Joe? How many have you read?
4.
4. Right. He has a specific number. Oz, I don't think he's probably read any because he's Oz, but he's watched every episode from every generation like 3 times.
Oh, dude. So wait, I'm getting knocked because I didn't watch Voyager?
No,
Trek's last night.
yeah.
I actually think Lawrence might he hasn't read as many books as me, but he definitely has watched more than me.
Yeah, but I mean, you do extra shit, like extracurricular credit, like shit, you know.
Dang.
Larry doesn't. Like, I've hung out with
Like, I'm
Joe.
a fake ass Star Trek fan.
It's not even that. Like, I've hung out with Joe. Joe brings up Star Trek. I've hung out with Oz, and he brings up Star Trek. I've hung out with you, Larry. Star Trek never comes up. I think
that might be true. That might be true. I don't. Listen. Yeah, no. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I am not like if you're saying to me like Star Trek is not one of my bigger fandoms, I would agree with you 100%.
Which is why I'm asking him the question.
Okay, that's fair.
Which is like this show, like me, I've watched episodes here and there from everything, like 1 or 2. Original series I enjoyed. Abrams I enjoyed. Now, like watching this, I felt like, oh, this is the one I can watch. Instead of watching other stuff, but still get some of what I should from other things. Like in terms of motifs and themes and shit like that. Or a depiction of Starfleet. You know what I mean? Like, is this a good thing for me in that respect?
No.
I think yes.
No, it's a horrible depiction of Starfleet. The writers on the show have no idea. They're just throwing Janeway here, Picard there, and oh look, we're Star Trek. That's it. It's a show in space, and with a Star Trek skin on it to make you feel like it's Star Trek. But if they can't even get like deck levels right on their maps, the stuff that goes on this ship, it's not Star Trek.
Now, when you say they can't get deck levels right, are you talking about the characters of the show, or are you talking about
the show, the writers on the show?
Like what decks did they mess up?
Deck 1 is the bridge. On the show, they're staying in the lower decks. They're where they're living, their little barracks are deck 4 at the bottom of the ship. So already they don't know what they're talking about.
So deck 1 is the bridge.
Yes.
So anything below that would be what?
Deck 2, deck 3, deck 4. Depending on the type of ship, how many decks it has.
And so you're saying the decks are numbered from top to bottom, not bottom to top?
Right.
And on the show, they're in what deck?
They're where they live is, they call it deck 4, and they point it out as the bottom of the ship. That's why it's called lower decks.
Below the bridge?
It is below the bridge. Definitely.
So if 1 is the bridge and everything, it gets numbered lower, and then the show has the lowest being the 4, and then the bridge being 1, like what's the problem?
He's trying to say that it should be like the lowest deck should be a big number.
There's more than 4. There's more than 4 decks on this ship.
But it's not titled lowest deck.
But then when they're talking about being in deck 4, they start deck 1 at the bottom.
Oh.
So they go from the bottom up.
Oh, okay.
I'm sitting here like I don't know that I've ever heard of the bridge referred to as deck 1.
Well, that's why I didn't talk to you.
No, and I could tell that really they just kind of like Wikipedia some Star Trek stuff, because the people were nutting themselves because they talk about citation ops, and nobody knows what the fuck citation ops is. Are we still cussing on YouTube?
No.
My bad. Sorry, let one fly. But I get very emotional about this stuff. It just feels like they took a bunch of Wikipedia stuff and like
this isn't getting monetized
stuff to throw in the show to make people think like they actually know what they're talking about, and they don't. They just don't.
Jeez.
Now, Joe, you said yes.
Yeah.
Let me know why. Because I enjoyed the show, so it's like, oh, could be a Star Trek that I could watch.
I think it's a good show because the characters that you're getting are the type of backstory characters that you'll see in Star Trek episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe there'll be like one episode, but this has the feel of like all those random one-off episodes. And that's what I wanted from a Star Trek Lower Decks. Like I wanted the stories about those people. Like I was actually speaking to Lawrence about this earlier. Like I want a whole show of Barclay.
Wait. You speak to Lawrence off air?
But yeah, like I want a whole show of Broccoli, and that's what this is.
Broccoli.
Yeah, that is one of the dynamics I did like about this show, that it was character driven, even though there was a lot of them for a 20-minute sitcom type, and they still managed to give you a little bit of everybody in a way that's entertaining and flows right. I was surprised to enjoy it because I did enjoy Final Space, and this felt like, from the art style to the vibe in the trailer, I was like, dude, this is a knockoff of fucking Final Space. But Final Space has its merits that are better. I wouldn't say it's an entirely better show than this one. It's like, fuck this show. Like, you can watch both. You'd be doing, from my perspective, you could do both. I really enjoyed this show a lot. I enjoyed the characters a lot. So this is my Star Trek. Thanks to Joe, because he echoed what I felt watching it, which was I really like the characters. Like,
I have to say, just situationally, I love this first episode where it's all about second contact.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, like it's funny, but then it's again like it's necessary,
right?
But
it makes sense.
A show can't focus on, but people going in and making sure they spell the name of the planet right and like all that shit, like that was hilarious to me, and it makes sense. Like I feel like that is actually something that would have to happen. And the captain and your Rikers and your Cisco's are just not gonna be able to do that shit.
But I think that's what, at least to me, made it feel like Star Trek, because all the show does is expand on the ideas that you get from the normal Star Trek shows, and just kind of takes it to one extra step where it's like, okay, what would have to happen next? And it's not like the adventure part of things.
Right.
Which is okay, especially for comedic purposes and with these characters.
This show is an adventure in and of itself too.
Definitely. And as you get further in, the characters expand in ways where you're like, oh, so you kind of get like a little bit of a taste of the archetypal type people that you're used to seeing in Star Trek.
Right. This show has made me a Trekkie.
Listen, don't let Oz know. He's like,
that's why I wanted to get his like perspective, because it is like, I thought about that. Like when they said, I watched every episode out. Like I'll tell you that right now. I didn't want. We were supposed to watch the pilot. I watched every episode. So now CBS has my money, but that was the thing. Like when they mentioned that, you got to do the Janeway protocol in this one sequence, and I'm like, I know exactly what that means just from being a virgin till my 20s or late teens, and it made sense to me. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome that they do that. I knew what it meant. I knew how it worked, and but that's where I'm like, you know what? I got to get Oz's answer, and I see his point. I can see it, but it's like, that's like me liking the J.J. Abrams one too.
You saying that this show has made you a Trekkie would be like me saying that the Eternals movie, it makes me a Kirby fan.
Yeah, at this point, who cares? Really? Like, people are violating the Constitution of the 14th Amendment, just violating, going straight to the execution, and and nobody gives a shit because now we have sports. So it's fine. Like you can be a Kirby fan too, like as much as I'm a Trekkie.
Actually, a bunch of sports teams are boycotting right now.
Yeah. It's still a good distraction. There was ratings for the baseball strike back in the day.
Yeah,
it's a distraction.
So Oz, is it a thing where you're like, did you only watch like the first episode, or did you go beyond it?
No, I watched a couple others because there's a lot of shows that I've hated at the beginning and then got better. I mean, Harley Quinn is the best example. I trashed all over the first episode.
We all did.
And then like towards the end of the first season, I was in love with that show. I couldn't wait for season 2.
Shoot, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ugh.
Nah, I'm still mad at that. Although I forgot to do my review for the final episode.
Oh, dude.
If you hit like and subscribe and the bell, I'll do a watch along for you guys. You hecked.
I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry again.
Yeah. The full 2 parts.
So, yeah, man. But yeah, I don't know, Oz. I don't know what to tell you because I feel like it does a good job of like what I like about it is that it definitely like expands on ideas that we already know in Star Trek, and then the other part I like it is it's funny, but it never makes fun of Star Trek, which is like
I don't think it's that funny.
Yeah, I did hear you say that earlier.
On the humor level, it hits. It has a couple misses, but there's still good character moments. So I attribute it to like weird comedy, like it's a deeper storytelling. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna talk about Infinity Train, but it's like that too, where I like some aspects were like really random and cartoony, but they're really deep character shit, and it's like,
yeah,
maybe if I don't laugh, I can actually listen to something that'll add to this. You know.
Well, I will say this: it is
watch them back to back. So.
It's supposed to be funny. So if it didn't make you laugh, then maybe it's not that funny either to you.
But
okay.
But if you go into this show having seen what you thought they ripped off, which was Final Space, it would be like if they're ripping that dynamic off from Final Space, like it's a good thing to rip off, and you'd be okay with it. Because Final Space is like, I don't want to say like, it is like, I mean, Joe, you know, like it's almost slapsticky humor, like lowbrow, but it's deep character moments too. You know, and when something isn't that funny in this Lower Decks, it's kind of near a character moment too, to a degree. The type of character they give you, at least, I guess it depends on the situation in the show, but the ones that I felt weren't that funny were good character moments. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I get it.
I will say with you all having mentioned Final Space in the past and the similarities for Lower Decks, I went to try to go watch it, but I
heard the word try.
Say, well, it was only available on Hulu, it seemed. Like even on demand, it started on like season 2, and I was like, oh,
use mine, borrow mine.
Okay, but I was like, oh,
they even let you do profiles now.
Oh wow! Well,
So
don't have to mess up your algorithm,
right? Because one thing I hate is when people come in my shit and fuck up my algorithm.
Right.
Well, okay. Technically, I'm more concerned with my watch list because I have a friend that always comes into my, like when I let him borrow my digital shit, he always fucks with my watch list. And I hate that shit. I hate it so much.
Well, there you go. So yeah.
I
So,
always look up my algorithm on YouTube.
Oh, do you? Well, shoot, the algorithm on YouTube's been doing all types of weird stuff lately. So I don't. It might not even be you anymore. It might just be YouTube.
You watch one news video and everything gets screwed up.
Oh man. So
Okay.
Moses.
Yes.
Okay. And do we still have Oz, or is Oz gone now?
We should.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So Oz, what would you rate Star Trek Lower Decks?
Out of 5,
Yes, out of 5.
having seen 2 episodes, I'm gonna say 2.5.
Watch the third one.
That's gonna be the turning point.
It might not, but you know.
I don't know. I mean, look, Discovery, I hated like up to episode like 4 or 5. I think it was like halfway through the season where I finally thought it got good.
Yeah, I didn't get interested till like episode 11.
Jeez, really? I like Discovery from episode 1.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen it. They just told me about episode 11.
Oh, jeez.
I would describe each episode to Mo. And
Yeah.
then if I,
That's how I was able to sleep those nights. He just narrated to me.
and then we went to like the museum exhibit at Comic-Con, and Mo was like all excited, like, "Oh, that's cool. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you told me about that."
And then it's like, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start watching it. And then he's like, oh no, that's over. Like this new shit now. I'm like, oh, never mind. I'm out.
So, Moses, Star Trek Lower Decks.
I'm gonna give it a good 4 out of 5. I don't know what would keep it from a 5, but I don't want to be too hopeful. But I did see at the end of the pilot, they did these like a quick montage, jump cutty to what's gonna happen later on, and I did see some kind of cosmic horror-y stuff that gave me that Final Space vibe. But I haven't seen it might just be just a one-off episode, which is cool. I like that, but it doesn't feel too rip off of Final Space, and good 4.5. Like I really enjoyed it, and like I said, it made me a Trekkie, even though I enjoy. I do want. I know they did mention Sulu, but I would like to see him do a little voice in Lower Decks, you know.
Jay, what would you rate Lower Decks?
I would give it a 4 out of 5. Like I thought it was funny, entertaining, and an interesting aspect of Star Trek that I don't feel like we've seen enough of.
Yeah, I agree with you two. Not Oz. I give it a 4 out of 5. Yeah, no, it's fun. I like it a lot. I think the characters are interesting. I'm actually interested to see where the story goes, like the through line, because I feel like it could be pretty interesting. So, yeah, I'd suggest you all check it out if you haven't already. So,
Yeah, it sounds like I'm the only one that didn't get a CBS check.
yeah, that's what it is. I mean, I'm rolling around as CBS money.
I'm still mad at CBS because when I actually did sign up for it, it didn't work for 3 months, and I still paid for 3 months.
That's messed
Oh
up.
man, that sucks.
Yeah, I had the trial, and in the trial, they didn't let me watch Big Bang Theory or what's the Supergirl, which is what I got it for when it first came out. So then I'm like, oh, well, it might be a trial thing. I'll pay for the first month. It kept crashing. 2 months crashing, 3 months crashing. After that, I'm like, you know what? I'm never giving them any money. And I'm still not technically.
Well, you not being able to see Big Bang Theory is just like they're doing you a favor.
I don't know, man. HBO Max got it on point. They upscaled everything. Like I got like 4K quality.
You can see it after the fact because the show's over now.
Yeah, so like I'm getting like 4K. Like Sheldon had Invisalign in season 2. Like that they upscaled the shit out of that. Like that's one thing about HBO Max. I have my criticisms about it, but they upscaled the shit out of everything old they got. Like I'd never seen it in that quality ever.
HBO gave you what CBS couldn't.
And like they got my money. Like that's the whole point I'm making. Like
give me my money. Give me my money. Give me my money.
It's like HBO. Like we're not going. You know what? Let me do. Oz, you leaving right now, right? If he hasn't already.
Oh, I guess
Yeah,
Oz. Okay.
Cover your ears, yo. All right, there you go. I had to unplug the Skype machine. All right. But yeah, he's gone. So, let me do this heavy metal minute, and we'll get into Infinity Train because I got to talk about HBO Max and its virtues and detriments too.
Okay, sounds good.
My computer's slow.
It's okay.
Never mind.
No, it's not acting. It's acting up.
I mean, talk amongst yourselves if you want, because it's not my. For some reason, my computer doesn't want to read external storage now.
Okay, no worries. Look, we've all been there. We've all been there. I'm trying to think. We were just talking about Lower Decks. It's like, and this is also, I guess we should, or one of the things that we didn't mention was that this was the first animated joint that has come out since the animated series, was that the 70s?
Yes.
Yeah, that was. I like that too. It wasn't like this, but
right. That's pretty crazy. Just the fact that there hasn't been anything animated Star Trek for that long. Not to say that animation is where you would necessarily think of going to get Star Trek, but it's just one of those things where it's such a popular franchise that you would have thought that somebody would have done it again at some point. But I don't know. I guess they were just like, we don't want to do that yet.
What did you guys think about the art style?
I mean, I think it's good. It's good tonally for what it's trying to do. Like if it was a serious story, I don't know that I would want it to look like that. But because it was comedy, it feels like it fits properly.
Like it looks like Final Space.
Yeah.
But it looks like Final Space. In fact, when I saw the one doctor, the cat person.
Yeah, the cat person.
Like I don't remember cat people in Star Trek.
There's never been
like fucking avocado.
Like, is the cat's name Avocado?
Avocado.
Oh.
Like Spanish gato.
Oh, got you.
Right. She looks a lot like him.
Yeah.
Tiger Clan Chat says Star Trek Lower Decks has a character who's from that alien race who are a race of cat people. Which, yes, it does.
What? But I'm saying that race didn't exist before the show, right?
I've never seen them.
Yeah.
To my knowledge. Like they were in that book I hate.
Oh, there was a Star Trek book with cat people in it?
No. There were cat people in another book I hate. A fucking Final Countdown book.
I was gonna tell Larry, like, you see, that's why I asked him if that's the show I should watch for Star.
It was literally the first thing when I saw the trailer that I was like, they have a cat alien. I'm like, Star Trek doesn't have any cat aliens.
Which is it's weird that they got so like for Star Trek standards, that's kind of like unimaginative, you know?
Yeah,
they have
many
interesting designs on civilizations and people and characters, and it's like if you want a character to stand out, like the cat's not the way to do it, you know?
But I'll go ahead, Jay.
one of my favorite characters is I forgot what her race is called, and I think there is one in the show Lower Decks, but the symbiotic race where all it does is like they have spots.
No, yeah,
it's like
a Trill, right?
Yeah, and it's like it's unoriginal, but it still works. But I wouldn't call it like the apex of originality.
Yeah, but you like, here's the thing though. I kind of feel like, you don't like, that's not what you go to Star Trek for in regards to like the most imaginative aliens. Like all the aliens are humanoid in Star Trek, and yeah, they're gonna have like facial prosthetics or all kind of stuff, and a lot of that just stems from the history of the show. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's almost like looking at a Dalek by today's standards. You know what I'm saying? And being like,
that's the main reason why I don't watch that show.
Why? Because of Daleks?
Yeah, they look terrible. It's like, what a...
But you can't judge it by today's standards. It's a design from a robot from the friggin' 50s or 60s. Right.
Daleks, those are
the robot they exterminate.
Yeah, they have one plunger on one hand and a egg beater on the other.
Yes.
They look like the thing that goes around Walmart now looking for messes.
Yeah. Right. And that's the whole thing. But it's like, obviously Star Trek only had so much that it could do when it got created. And, it's like, and so that's what the aliens look like, it's like, so you kind of give it a little bit of a pass. And, it's like that, like when you go and you're like trying to make things feel like Star Trek, you have to go in those kind of directions. Like if all of a sudden there was like some random, like, honestly, the cat person was enough to stand out for me. I was just like, if I saw that in a live action Star Trek movie, I kind of be like, what's that doing? Like,
it was funny. There's a really funny scene in Deep Space Nine.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one episode where they time travel back to the original Star Trek.
Oh yeah,
with the triple.
Yeah.
And at one point, they're like, look at the Klingons,
right?
And they're like, look completely different, like the original designs. And they go to Worf, and dude, what's that about? And he's just like, we don't talk about that.
Right. Right. Yeah.
All right, this heavy metal minute's ready, I think.
Okay, cool.
So brace yourself. You heard me talk about the weird story about the band Arsams. They're a band from Iran, and they were imprisoned for playing satanic music and heresy and anti-government shit in the great old land of Iran. Now, they were urging to, hey, if you can, buy some CDs and merch or whatever to help them out so they can make bail. So they could be, they can get out of jail and eventually wait for their trial. So the news broke a few days after that. I bought one of their albums. You're listening to some of it under me right now. They made bail, $50,000 or something. And they got out. But now they skipped bail. They're gone. They left Iran. They're out in the wind. You can't find them. And I don't know where they're going to turn up. There's not a lot of nations taking in refugees right now with everything that's going on in the world. So, we're probably going to hear from them when they reach a place like Norway or France or something like that. But we'll see. We'll see where they're at. In the meantime, they did send me a message because I was one of the people that bought an album. And I got on their mailing list, and here's what their statement says. Hi, guys. As you may know the news, Arsamis, band member sentenced to 15 years in prison, but they escaped from Iran for not going to jail. Now, this sounds a little weird because there's a language barrier. They are outside of the country and not stable, waiting to find a chance for rocking in a free world, so please be patient for your orders. They will try to send all physical orders as soon as they can. Just please understand their condition and keep supporting metal. Respect to all arsonists. So yeah, so they're still communicating with people, but we don't know when we're going to get our physical copy, which I'm okay with. I wanted them to get out of jail, and that's what I did. And the way that Bandcamp works, because you were able to buy it through Bandcamp, is when you buy something physical, you can just stream it and download like copies of it in different file formats, like the FLAC file, the lossless compression type. You can do the Apple lossless, MP3, Wave, whatever you want to listen to music in. And yeah, so I got my copy digitally, and it was worth it. $15 well spent. Keep on rocking, Arsenals. And in other news, Behemoth is teasing something. They sent an email, if you're on their mailing list, saying, be the first to know. And then you click a link, you sign up for another mailing list, and they start sending you cryptic stuff. One thing they sent me was a video clip that's on their YouTube, but you can't, unless you click the link, you can't see it. And it looks like the spooky video filter with some ominous musical sounds, not necessarily music, but kind of ambiance. And so they might be teasing a video or a new single. It seems a little short to have a new album, but they're probably, because they just released an EP and an album last year. So I think they're probably doing a video. They're finally able to get together and film a video. So we'll see. It seems like they're going to have a full statement on, I want to say Friday, the 21st. That's what it sounds like, and that's what it looks like. But we'll see. Usually that's when everything comes out. But yeah, I'm Moses Magnum. This has been a Heavy Metal Minute.
So apparently these cat people have been in Star Trek for a while.
Get out of here.
They
Lies.
first appeared in the animated series.
The Star Trek animated series?
Yeah.
From the 70s.
Yes.
That's why we haven't seen them. They're like,
They're in Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home.
What?
I don't remember them there.
I don't either.
They are mentioned in Deep Space Nine and Enterprise.
What are they called?
They're called Kaitians. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I don't know if you can access it. But I put a chat. I don't have access to the chat, but in the private chat, I put in their Furpedia page.
Furpedia? What is Furpedia?
Wikipedia.com.
It's like Wikipedia, but for furries.
We're about to get demonetized.
Are they related to the Meowmen?
No. But I can say they're also in the Star Trek Online game.
So they actually watched and did stuff that Oz hasn't done.
Dang. Look, I told you he was a fake ass Star Trek fan. Y'all didn't want to listen. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Like you didn't know about that Wikifur.
Why would I know about a Wikifur?
The cat people. You should have known. Like, we have disgraced the show today.
What?
We gotta fall on the sword now.
Oh no. Oh wait, let me see if I can share this. I don't think I can. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, I see that. I like it.
That's some old Disney stuff.
We need to get like Mirka and Dolfo to do a Katian's like comic book.
I would read that.
I'm gonna start a Kickstarter. I was like, I need to pay her to do. Well, I'm gonna do a commission, and then I'm gonna pitch the story once we get the buzz from that Kickstarter.
Man,
Okay, so what's next?
Infinity Train.
Okay. Let's talk Infinity Train. For those of you who are new to the show, or just, I guess, only listen to the one or two shows where I haven't mentioned it. It's a cartoon on HBO Max. It's about a person will be going through some tough shit in their life, and they'll find this train with the infinite amount of cars, with infinite worlds in each car. And the point of the train is to try to work through your problems, better yourself, and eventually get off the train. So in the current season, we are following Simon and Grace, who have been around since book 1, season 1. They made a cameo appearance in the background. They're antagonists in season 2, and they are the protagonist of this season. They're following, they are traveling with Tuba, a gorilla, and a young girl called Hazel. And they are part of a group that believes that the train was invented for people and that their number should go up, and that the biggest number means that you're winning, and that's their philosophy. So they go from train car to train car, fucking everything up, getting the highest number they can. And when Simon and Grace get separated from the main group, they have to try and find their way back, escorting Grace and Tuba to try and get back to their group, the Apex.
Hazel and Tuba.
Hazel and Tuba.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, Mo.
Yes.
You. Okay, so
I fucked up.
I guess you didn't have enough time, or I'm not sure. But what ended up happening is that you watched the first 2 episodes of season 1,
right,
and the 8th episode of season 3.
Yes.
Kind of walk me through that experience.
Okay, so I know we joked about this in other episodes. Link up here for post-production. But I know that we talked about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, I only watched like the first 2-3 episodes, and then I was going to review the final episode. We never got to that yet. Subscribe and hit the bell. Maybe I'll do a mini blog about it. And then I'm like, well, Larry texted us today at like 2 in the afternoon. What are we talking about today? And the one thing I didn't get to do was watch Infinity Train. Well, actually, that's not. I didn't do any of it. So I had to do everything. So I'm over here. I don't know. I was talking shit to Emily. Like, oh, Larry's asking us at 2 today what we're talking about, which we talked about it, 8 days ago.
Right.
But I didn't do any of it, and Larry didn't do any of it. But I'm like, you know what? I got to do this shit right now. Luckily, I did have the time. I did have a preconceived notion of HBO Max. One of my criticisms is that it does feel like a dumping ground for other network stuff that wouldn't get put on there. Now, since you're paying for it, you'll have a lot of extra shit. But being that, it is a thing that if, like how you said earlier in this episode, Joe, I'm here for the animation. And it's like, if you're looking for animation, there's a lot of shit there to watch. And if you're looking for originals, there's a lot of shit to watch. And then if you're looking for what HBO traditionally is, there's that. And then there's what all the kids stuff that I've never seen any of. So it is a very diverse platform to watch things. And being, I know the first book of Infinity Train was on Cartoon Network. So I'm like, you know what? They probably got canceled there. They're like, you know what? Dump it here. It's probably gonna be decent. I watched these 2 episodes and it was like some of the deepest shit I've ever seen in cartoons in the first 3 minutes. And I'm like, and then there was like strange things, like I don't know where she's friends with this little robot ball, but it seems strange. But it's like, you know what? She was feeling like shit, and a train showed up, and she just jumped off. Like, so it's like, and then it's like metaphysical, weirdly Lovecraftian, where like illusion of reality and perception of reality just in these 2 episodes, and I'm like, fuck, now I want to watch more of it, but I don't have time to do everything else I got to do for the show. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch the most current episode I can find on HBO Max. Links below for a free trial. And I watched the last one and I'm like, this is so far removed from everything I've seen. They actually mentioned characters and situations, and I'm like, now I really have to go back and watch all of it. And they're short enough where I could binge them like in a whole day. Like, I don't even have to smoke weed. I can just sit and watch. They're fast enough to they're paced wise. They're fast enough where they're entertaining, and they're short enough where you could get a bunch of them in a good block of time. So I'm like, the experience was really crazy, where it's like I didn't anticipate when I talked about doing this for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I didn't anticipate it having this type of payoff, and even like a spoilery aspect. Like I understood going in that there's going to be spoilers in it. I didn't realize they would be this fucking crazy to the point where it's like, this is something I should have been watching. And we did a review. I think it was just me and Joe talking about one of the episodes earlier on in season 2. And
Infinity Train or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No, nobody gives a shit about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're talking about Infinity Train.
You talking about season 2? I didn't know you.
Yeah, no, we're talking about Infinity Train.
Okay.
And I was like, man, this is one of those things that, like, even I remember commenting on it where like the concept is so like internal, and they're showing you this crazy shit externally, and that those layers and the abstract nature of it feels like an anime, and it's not. It's American, and it's like, this shit probably was canceled on a more mainstream accessible network, and HBO Max is like, no, let's keep doing it. And that's the beauty of HBO Max. Like, a lot of the shit on there is not for me, but every now and then I'm gonna find something that I probably wouldn't have found it if it wasn't on HBO Max.
Now let me go through, and yeah, I'm right about this, but basically Infinity Train was a Cartoon Network original that was meant for HBO Max.
Okay.
But HBO Max took a long time. Like, they've actually been planning this out for like a long time. So it was developed with the intent by Cartoon Network Studios with the intention of being put on HBO Max, but HBO Max just wasn't ready. So
that makes a lot of sense actually when you say it like that. Like,
yeah,
because Infinity Train, it is deep.
Well, and it actually feels like one of my criticisms of HBO Max is that a lot of the stuff they have doesn't feel like HBO quality things, like the types of risks they take in telling stories, something like Leftovers or Carnival, even some aspects of The Sopranos, and Infinity Train has that. And it's like, oh, I can see why it got, like, in my mind, when I started, I'm like, I can see why this got canceled on Cartoon Network and HBO Max has it. Yeah.
Now, one of the things, and I don't know if I said the story before, but when Owen Wilson, the creator, planned out the first season, it was like he just wanted to do like the 10 episodes. That was the story he had to tell. Like, that was as much time as he needed to tell the story he had to tell. When Cartoon Network put in the order, they wanted 20 episodes. So instead of doing like a bunch of filler shit and like trying to expand it, he was like, you know what? We're going to do our 10 episodes and then we're just going to do another story. So instead of like trying to do like filler shit, he was like, okay, this is just going to be our second season. And it became an anthology with one story resolved, and then another one is a new story with new characters, and then that's how they kind of got the format going for this. And it is unfortunate that right now Owen has been laid off.
Really?
And season 4 may not be coming. Like if HBO Max sees that people want more, they might rehire him to do another season. But right now it's looking like the series ends tomorrow.
Wait, why? Just like, is this literally just about eyeballs on the show?
I believe
it's not even eyeballs on the show. This goes deeper than that, and it goes back to my earlier prophecy during the first shutdown here, where I said AT&T is going to do a massive like culling of people. They're going to like downsize big time because they're not making money. Because part of their whole business that they got into in buying Warner Media is theater stuff, comic stuff, and then cartoon stuff is there too. But that's not something that you're trying to see numbers in. But it is an expense you can cut because it's all about cutting expenses.
Man, that sucks.
You know, I'm gonna keep doing my thing, keep trying to get more people to watch it, and keep doing my Twitter hashtags.
I'm gonna keep doing your thing.
I don't know which hashtags we're using, but
he's been doing it.
Infinity Train HBO Max and Infinity Train Book 4.
Oh, okay.
Those are my 3 tags. A couple people are also doing Watch Infinity Train and Renew Infinity Train, but I'm gonna stick with my 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna DM Mr. AT&T.
Nice.
Yeah. His name is Matt.
AT&T Matt.
Yeah. Well, it's in his name, ATT at the end.
Mr. AT&T is Matt.
Like, hey, don't cancel it.
Please do. No, I like what you said earlier today where you're like, so I watched the first 2 episodes of season 1 and then I watched the last episode of season 3. I'm like, you're not going to have any idea what's going on because
you know what? I actually enjoyed that feeling.
Okay.
Like,
and that's fair.
It's like, you start a movie and you walk out and come out at the sequel. Like you fall into a black hole. Yeah. And which is how I watched the Harry Potter movies.
But I feel like
I'm not saying those were enjoyable experiences like this for me, but this actually, like, it's like, man, this is a deeper thing that I should have watched, and I know I should have, but shit happens.
It's like one of those things though where it's
Somebody
like
never mind.
Because it's like an anthology type series.
Yeah.
It's like what's happening at the end or the latest episode of season 3 very well, which I haven't even seen that myself, so I don't know what's happening. But
I know you didn't get to watch. Like, how far did you get?
I only watched the first 2 episodes of season 3, so I was just like, but in my mind, I'm just like, having watched season 1 and 2, and seen the beginning of season 3, I'm just like, nothing that happened in season 1 is probably really like, there's no connective tissue, especially as far like, there's like very little connective tissue, I guess I should say, between the first couple episodes of season 1 and the latest episode of season 3.
I don't know, man. They referenced stuff from episode 1 in the last episode I saw.
Oh, well, good. Well,
I didn't feel like lost in the sense.
That's amazing. I'm excited to watch that.
I didn't feel lost in the sense that well, I mean, you probably already know what's going on where you're at.
Well, I know I don't.
Okay. Well, I'm more versed than you are now.
It's like, yeah, I don't like, because you don't get, they set the stage really well, like those first two episodes, and I'm saying those first two episodes I feel were like literally like, I want to say like less than 20 minutes for the two of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I'm very intrigued. I'm like, dude, I might watch the rest of it. Like, I might catch up tonight, just because it's like you said. I mean, it's the pacing is super, super good, and it's like not a lot of time because, and so it's like there's no reason to not just watch it other than you don't want it to end. And so it's just like, yeah. So how many more episodes we get tomorrow, Jay? We get them?
2 episodes.
And those are the final 2 episodes of season 3.
Yes.
Jesus, man. That came quick.
Yeah.
I'm unsatisfied. Don't demonetize.
I know Owen's been tweeting that we're not ready for it.
Wow. I believe it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Like, he's the kind of person that takes joy in other people's pain. Like, yeah, like
that's why Moses can relate.
if he says we're not ready, he's gonna fuck some shit up. Like some fucked up shit is gonna happen. I don't know what, but I'm ready. Like this gotta be done. I need to see what happens.
What are you gonna say, Mo?
That I give the series a 5 out of 5.
There you go. There you go. Jay, what do you give? Oh, go ahead, Mo. I'm sorry.
I'll say it after.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say 5 out of 5. Like,
yeah,
there is nothing wrong with the series. Like, I remember thinking that the first episode of season 3 was kind of dragging a little bit, but that's just because I'm anti-asshole. And it's really necessary to like set the stage. So yeah, like I love the series. I love from book 1 to 2 to 3 to hopefully 4. Like I've been loving the series, and it's pretty much perfect.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 as well. It's awesome to watch.
Don't ask Owen about anything that happens after or outside of a book. Like, don't ask him what happens to a character after their story is done, because he would just make some fucked up headcanon shit where they're dead.
Did you do that, or did somebody else do it?
Someone else did. Like, they asked it whether Tulip and Mirror Tulip would ever meet.
Mm-hmm.
And he said Tulip died on a boat. It was really sad.
Oh. I was wondering how like her shit ended after watching, when I realized it was an anthology. Like, oh, I want to go back and see how her shit ended. And now I'm not watching anything ever.
Thanks, Owen. No.
It did make me want to watch Snowpiercer.
Why Snowpiercer?
Because there's a train and people live on a train.
Oh, got you. Thematically, I haven't. Have you watched that series at all?
What?
Snowpiercer? Yeah.
Not the series or the
movie.
Not even the movie.
Well, what are you talking about?
Well, no, because there's a series and the movie.
Yeah.
I haven't watched either of it.
But which one are you saying you want to watch?
Oh, the movie.
Okay, thank you.
Because the series I hear is all Blue Lives Matter like shit, like propaganda.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It hasn't come out yet. But...
Oh, I thought it came out already.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't give a shit about Snowpiercer until I saw Infinity Train. So I don't know what's out, what's not out.
The Snowpiercer movie is actually an interesting movie, in my opinion.
That's what I hear.
It's not great, but it's different, and it's
like Infinity Train.
Man,
like it's great and different.
I liked Snowpiercer before I knew who whatchamacallit was. Chris
Young Dong.
Heaven.
Oh, I thought the award-winning director,
No.
the guy that did that movie with the Asian people.
So,
which one?
The one that won the Academy Award. That
Parasite.
What's his name? Long Dong.
I don't know his name.
I don't either. But he made Snowpiercer.
Got it.
And speaking of really good dark comedies,
wait, what? Okay.
Well, he mentioned Parasite, which was a really good dark comedy.
Oh, I did not know that. I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's really funny.
I really thought you were gonna be like, speaking of long dogs.
No.
Nobody wants to talk about that. Like, he's only made a few movies.
I watched Spree, which it stars the guy from Stranger Things, and it's about a Uber driver that goes on a killing spree. It is really funny, like seriously funny.
Why is that funny?
It's just the way they do it. Like his acting and their writing is just really funny. Like,
wow.
Yeah. Like, I would suggest it if you like black comedies.
Why has it got to be black?
Because it's about killing.
But do we have time to do Hotel?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do it.
Okay. Why don't you start this up, Laura? Oh, did you guys read it?
Yeah. I read it. Larry, I don't think got time to.
Listen, I asked what we had to do this for what we're talking about to remind myself to make sure I wasn't missing anything. And the only thing that I had to do was watch Infinity Train, which, yeah. But I had read Hotel already. I had already watched Lower Decks. I had watched DC Fandom, so we were good. I did read Hotel. It is a book we've talked about. We talked about the first 2 issues, which is about this hotel that appears
different room, different world.
Yeah. Basically, this hotel that appears off Route 66, and random people. Well, I don't know if they're random, but people go to it, check in, and have some terrible experience that happens to them. I mean, and not random, not normal hotel terrible stuff, not like bed bugs or,
or they brought UV light.
Say what?
They brought a UV light and see all this things.
Right, yeah, not like that. Like some really heinous, horrific, like horror type stuff happens. And it's 4 issue. It's a 4-issue series. Issue 4 came out last week. Is that right? Last week?
I believe so.
Yeah, if not last week, the week before. And it's basically like there's 4 rooms at the hotel. It's Perot Court. Is that how you say it? I think Perot.
Yeah.
Perot Court has 4 rooms, and each of the 4 issues tells you the story of a different resident of each of the rooms, and it's pretty amazing. It's like I don't know what more you all want from me without trying to spoil stuff, because I don't want to.
Yeah, you can spoil it. Like,
I mean,
the shit that happens is fun, and I think people hearing it and reading it is 2 different experiences.
I would agree with that. And I will say that, I think the biggest compliment I can pay Hotel, and that's Hotel with 2 L's, is that reading through issues 1 through 4 of Hotel, whether you read them individually or all at once, will probably make you want to read through all 4 issues again immediately. Yeah, which is, I mean, it's very few comics that I know of that make you have that feeling. I mean, I've read some, but yeah, like I literally finished issue 4 and was like immediately like, I think I should just go back and read all of them again. So
I can only
yeah,
think of one other book that made me do that.
you remember what it is?
Yeah, it's 100 Bullets.
You're right. 100 Bullets is that kind of book too.
It sucks because it's 100 issues. So
Yeah.
every time I would get a trade paperback, I'd read it and then read all the way
Yeah.
through again.
Yeah.
And so by the third trade paperback, I already knew. Like once I get a new trade paperback, so now I'm on like 12, and I've been on 12 for, I want to say like 15 years.
Have you not finished 100 Bullets?
I haven't, because I'm like, I gotta sit. So now some of mine are missing, so I gotta like get them all again. And
Oh, come on,
yeah,
man.
and I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read it till I read it all the way through.
You put me onto 100 Bullets.
I know.
Damn, you got to finish it. That joint's amazing how that joint ends.
Yeah, and
So-
I'll know in another 15.
There it is. But Hotel, man, I was just like, yeah, I was, and it's so funny because I know, Jay, you had mentioned that, you know, you're like, hey, we should talk about it again now that it's done. And I understand exactly why you said it after reading it, where I was just like this whole thing is like some crazy, like it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Like this joint is so good, yet so heinous that if they made it into like some sort of like anthology series or something like that, I think I would have to watch it. I don't want to watch it because I don't want to see it in live action. Like I don't want to see that stuff moving, but I think I have to watch it.
And you know what's weird is that I was thinking similar thoughts when I read it, and I'm like, I don't think I want to see this anywhere else other than comics.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's certain things in there that I think they'd have to tone down for other media, and it's like they just cop out because they either wouldn't want, not even controversy, it's like gratuitous in theory, but it really just adds to the severity of the events. And tonally, you can get that in comics.
Mm-hmm.
In a movie, the majority of people would think it's like, oh, this guy's just wants to show that.
Yeah. Right.
Plus,
yeah, no. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
I think effect-wise, like issue 4 would be hard to do in live action.
It'd be something they'd really have to work hard to, and it might even have to be its own movie, budget-wise.
Yeah, so I think that is good for comics because in a comic book that's scary, in live action, it's such a hard effect to do that it might come out a little comical.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting you say that though, because it is like what kind of came to mind for me was like almost like was Doom Patrol and like some of the stuff they did there and like that, like, but obviously they're doing something completely different. And it's like, it's not like Doom Patrol is like horror or anything like that. It has some elements, like some stuff that's like supposed to be a little bit, you know, more like scary, but it's definitely like doing something different. But I just kind of feel like from an effects standpoint, if Doom Patrol can do what it can do, I would think that from an effects standpoint, they might be able to pull it off. But you're right. Like it's one of these things where it has to strike the exact right tone and look the way it needs to look in order to stay horror,
and
as opposed to, you know, yeah.
That's what I was going to cut you off with, is that Doom Patrol's cheesiness adds to its
You're right.
Tone of like being like the comic in a sense,
right?
You know? Whereas this, it would have to feel real, like you'd have to experience it like the characters.
Yeah,
and it fails.
Right. Yeah, but it's insane, man. It's just like, and it's one of these things where it's like, you know, like, I mean, it was weird from issue 1. But each issue kind of progressively gets a little bit stranger in regards to like what you're seeing and how it's working out. And then it's just like issue 4 just takes it all home. Where I'm just like, oh man, like what the hell?
And like, I think one of the things I like the most about issue 4 is that it becomes apparent that you're the person being talked to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I know when I was reading it, I was like, why the fuck am I at this hotel? Like what the fuck is my story? Like, I don't, like, this is a terrible hotel where terrible things happen. Like, why am
Right. Well, listen.
And that was like, I'm like, where am I going to get that comic of like the first person comic, of this? Like, if anything, that could be the movie or the adaptation is like like, was it Hardcore Henry? Yeah. Hotel.
Yeah.
And yeah, I this is one of those books that I found that came out during the pandemic, back when we were doing the morning shows, and like, I'm glad we came back. And thematically, it kind of ties into watching Infinity Train too, because it's a similar thing. Like, people that are damaged and need to work their shit end up here.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also has the Shining type living hotel thing. And I mean, that clown, fucking Pyrot or whatever his name is a badass.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that the name of the clown?
Yeah, it said in the first issue.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna go back and read all those.
But it's not pronounced Pyrot. But it's
yeah. But still, look, it's scarier. But I'm like, oh, dude. I was like, yeah. But no, I knew what you meant because you're like Perot. But yeah. Listen, it was just crazy just because I was just like and like that's the thing where the details from issue to issue and how like it just feels like every issue does like a callback, and it's just like, dude, like,
and the
like
way
I just
does it though, the way the final one does it.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I remember seeing this in the first issue and then thinking, oh, it's just a creepy hotel. But even where they chose to put it in the first issue,
right?
You were so lost.
Yeah,
you're just drawn into this world that you're like, oh, that's gonna pay off, and then you forget about it.
Yeah.
Well, you see it in issue 4.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah, and that's like, I think that's the beauty of it, where it's just like literally all these callbacks and things that, like, I mean, anyone that can tell me a story and show me something and it feels as though it has significance in the story that they're telling me, and it's like it has significance in that story, and then you tell me a different story or another piece of a story and it makes me re-examine everything that I had seen before that, like, where it's like, oh wow, like I thought it was significant because of this and that felt right, but now I see that it's significant for a whole completely different reason, and it's like, and it still feels right, and it's just like, dude, like that kind of storytelling is amazing to me, just because I feel like it's like it's like almost like storytelling and like puzzle making at the same time. You know what I mean? Where it's like, come on, man, like you can't do that like on an off day. So I'm just like, cool. Yeah, much respect. Damn.
So 5 out of 5?
Yeah. 6. 666. No.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Oh.
It's still a shitty name though.
It is so right. Oh, only because you can't tell like the what the book looks like and what the title of it actually is are different, and that's messed up. Like from like what it looks like on the cover is awesome, but if you're like, okay, from a retail perspective,
for like a week we thought it was called Hell.
Right.
I wish I would have saved the picture to share it with you, but
right. But it's just like,
it's on our Instagram.
Forum. Let's see. Like, I might be able to pull it up real quick, but it's just crazy
that
there's
a video on Instagram that I posted with it.
Oh, there's a video.
Yeah. I made a little stinger to get
Oh,
people to come watch us.
never mind then.
Yeah.
You go watch that. Go watch that, and then come back and watch this. No.
I you know, I bought it thinking it was hell, and the hotel motif with hell kind of like it's like watching, you know, Barton Fink for me. I'm down, I'm in, and then it also has a little bit of The Shining. I'm down, I'm in. I thought it was hell, and then now it's hotel,
Right,
hotel, la, la, la.
right.
It's like, and that's when we start thinking, you know, when by the time you read issue 3 and 4, you're like, you know what? Like, you watch a show like American Horror Story, like, this is it. Like, this shit does a better job of tying in every character. Like, each one of these, maybe not a whole season each room, but it, you know, if it maybe half a season. But either way, it's still, you can do a season of these 4 and then a season of another 4 or 1, whatever, you know, whatever the comic decides to do. And it's like they didn't do a good job of tying all the different stories around the same themes like American Horror Story claims to do. Yeah. There's like a crossover between seasons, but it doesn't feel as fluid as this, or as either that shit's mad subtle or it just fails at it.
Right.
But Hotel does it really well, and it doesn't do it in the way that it's like, oh, this is just gimmicky. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
It just
doesn't
feels
feel like
natural.
Yeah.
It's definitely not one that you could read issue 1 and then read issue 4 and get the full enjoyment.
No, definitely not. And then the funny thing is too, it's like it's not even like it spells everything out for you either.
Yeah, it's still abstract.
Right. It just, you know, but you just get an experience, and you're just like, well, that's what I experienced, you know. But I think that's like, I mean, it's obviously on purpose, like Jay was saying, where you're like, you're kind of like a person at the hotel, and you're just like, well,
and that
what happened.
I remember when we talked about the first issue or 2 issues. That was one of the things. Like, it felt like one of those Tales from the Crypt comics where, like, you have the guy in between each segment telling you about it, but instead of 3 per issue, you just get 1 per issue.
Right.
And yeah, I like, who would play that guy in an adaptation? The bellman.
Yeah.
The head.
You know, I don't know, man. Like, the guy at the front desk. I don't know. Like, it would, but you definitely want somebody that has like a little bit of a gravity to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, weight. It doesn't have to be like, you know, super, you know, deep, but definitely just when they talk, you have to listen.
Yeah, John Turturro it is.
Okay, I like it. We can do that. So cool, man. Yeah. What are you? Did you all want to rate it real quick?
Oh, I'll say 5.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to go different, I think.
Like, the art's on point. Like, not one bad panel.
Yeah.
Story and pacing's all on point. Covers are good. That fucking Axel Alonso's a beast.
Yeah, it's true.
That's his company.
Yeah, man. That's good stuff. It's it's really interesting, man. It's really interesting.
I did keep thinking, like, man, did Larry shit himself here?
There was definitely some panels where, you know, I mean, honestly, it's one of these things where, you know, comics. I can do horror comics because I feel a bit more in control of what's happening. Like, you know, it's like obviously like, but there was definitely some points where I was like, you know, hesitating to turn a page, you know, because I'm like, oh, what I'm about to see. You know what I'm saying? What I'm about to see, you turn it, it's like, oh, okay. Like, you know, but yeah, I you know, obviously it's like, there's no such thing as a jump scare in a comic. Like, the page turn is the closest you get. And, you know, it because I feel like I control that, it makes me feel a little bit better. But it's definitely some messed up stuff, man. And just like I'll be thinking about things from Hotel tonight when I'm in my bed.
Reading off.
No. No.
Beating off
Like-
demons. Baby demons that want to suckle from you.
No, please.
Um,
Please don't do that.
Now, I remember you bringing up jump scare. I think you brought it up when we reviewed issue 1 too, where it actually had a jump scare for you when you
Yeah.
first saw that demon baby.
No, the demon baby was terrible.
Yeah. And then you see it again here from
Yeah.
a different perspective. Now it's
Yeah.
not jump scare theme, but I'm like, oh, there's that demon baby that Larry is afraid.
Yeah. But the demon baby thing was terrible though.
Yeah.
It's like literally all big and like,
And then you see the conclusion of that too.
yeah. It was,
I wanted to see that when I reviewed issue 1, and now it paid off in issue 4. So
exactly. And it's like it's so funny because there's so many different things that happen at issue 1 where you're like, so what's that? Like, I guess we'll figure that out next issue.
yeah.
And you're right. Like, it's like, and some of that stuff happens and some of that stuff doesn't. And you're just like, wait, what? Like, but it's really well done. Just like very masterful. And I'm just like, man, I like it a lot. Like, it deserves a lot more credit and a lot more. It deserves to be pumped up much more than that book has been, as far as I know. Like, I the only people I know that are talking about it so far are us.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I definitely will sing high praises throughout the masses and just be like, hey, you know, which I feel like for me, especially, like if I go out and start telling people about this horror book, they're going to be like, horror? Like, you're recommending horror? Why would you? Like, you know, like there could be like half the people that be like, well, if you say it, then I have to read it. And the other half is like, why would I listen to you about horror? Probably not scary. And it's like, okay.
Oh,
you get to that demon baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's messed up. But yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Okay. It's time for us to get out of here, gents. Let's do it. So, Jay, you want to hit us with some final thoughts?
Sure. Our part 1 of our Calamity of a Zombie Girl review is up on YouTube.
Turn that down.
How's that? Too high?
That's good.
Okay, so part 1 of our Calamity of a Zombie Girl review is up on YouTube. Part 2 is coming on Sunday, and I know how to censor titties now, so maybe that'll come up in the future.
Okay. Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
Sorry. I want to thank. Damn it. All right, there we go. I want to thank a fellow YouTuber, Sam the Cooking Guy. He sent me a knife. Here it is. This
Damn.
shit cuts a lot of shit. It's a cooking knife, and it's really sharp coming out of the package. I just got it today, and yeah, it splits hairs. I'll tell you that. I shaved with it.
Damn.
Yeah, Sam the Cooking Guy, card up here in post-production.
Sorry, I was trying to point the same way you did. It took me a long time. Sorry. Real quick too, quick shout out. I want to shout out Lucas Ackerman, Art of Lucas. He sent me this shirt, which is awesome. Just so you know, you guys check it out real quick. But it's basically Wolverine and Jubilee basically doing that Outcast cover, or the cover of the Outcast cover for Sequemini, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Stankonia?
Stankonia? Can't remember which one.
I feel like it's Stankonia.
It is Stankonia. You're right. Okay, good. Thank you.
Who doesn't know hip hop now, Larry? Call back to the beginning of the show.
Moses doesn't think hip hop's real music.
I never said that. I know.
But yeah, I like it. So thank you, Lucas. Appreciate you, buddy. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, hit us in the comments. Go to fantasticforum.live. Tell us what it is you think about the show, what you want us to talk about, what you didn't like. Give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, do all that joint. This is Fantastic Forum. Yeah, and we'll be back next week. Later.